What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 27 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Tzarina Katarin Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, a couple of pretty great battles as Tzarina Katarin faced off against Tamarkan, and her army was actually challenged by his, which hasn't been a particularly usual state of affairs for Tzarina Katarin's army. In addition to that, Consultant had a great fight against Ikat Claw, knocking the Rat Lord out, though taking a nuke to one of the Boydanov's brawlers who just barely managed to inch their way out of destruction. Lovely times. This time around, we'll be looking to go after the Fecundites for a very specific reason. Unfortunately, the campaign has suffered a bit of a setback in terms of its engagement dropping, and thus this will be the last episode on the main channel. We will most likely continue the campaign in the second channel as we usually do, though we'll see if we can we'll see how the interest shakes out and all that. I think at this point we've gotten just pretty ludicrously strong and can build whatever we want and make whatever we want, despite the fact that I do think that we have decent enemies remaining to us still. The reason that we got to go after the Fecundites is that they're the last thing for us to acquire long victory, and then afterwards, if we continue on the second channel, we can go after the Slaneshi coalition on the donut and whatnot. But for now, let's see what we can do. So let's get a move on. Well, actually not with Victor Zambin, as he's waiting for us to declare war on Village, which will only happen once we reach the Red Fortress. So Uragni, you're going to march stance out here, close the distance with the Red Fortress, and then by the time you roll back around, we should have the Bear Cav ready to go for you. And Beledna, move out this way as well. I believe we can actually knock out the Fecundites within this episode. We'll see. Recruiter Gajovich, you are here for a reason. You're going to take a bunch of troops from these guys, but for now, that isn't super necessary. Beledna, the crit failure, you're going to head to the Bleakhold Fortress. I guess you do have 6 steel techs, but nonetheless. And a success for you. Nice. Scout Yojin, you don't need to do anything, but the tech thief Usenko here. Oh. There's nobody nearby to really steal from. Alright, I guess you're gonna head to Middenstag. Oh, you're gonna lose that steel tech over the next turn. But what can you do? And I do believe that's it for this turn, so we're ready to go end the turn, go after Village, even though the thing we really want is Festus, but we gotta actually close the distance with him first. We'll see where he goes, considering Mother Ostanka is in ambush here. Alright, Clan Squire, Clan Eshin, yeah, look at all the balance of powers compared to our own balance of power. Grom the Paunch wants peace. Why would... no. I mean, there's no... funnily enough, the bonus to relationship with elves that we would get for killing him, we don't get anything out of it anymore, do we? Because they're all dead. Anyway, Constructor and Norden receives Plague. Oh, these plagues. You are gonna be an annoyance, but not a big deal. Training complete, and we're good to go. Alright, so what do we have here in terms of this army? Nothing crazy, it's mostly gobos. I think we have bigger fish to fry with the Village and all that sort of stuff. The question is, can we kill you and still reach Festus here? I'm not sure that we can, but I guess we're gonna try. Go after this. Yeah, no, we won't be able to. Oh well, too late now. Well, we might as well knock this little army out so that these guys don't annoy us. And then we'll proceed to running after... Pyrrhic Victor? Oh, right. Alright, I guess we can fight it. I'm certainly not tired of watching the things in the woods do their thing. They can slaughter their way through some gobos. Go.
The cowards amongst you tremble. Yet an old woman stands here, fearless before the foe. Now ask yourselves, do you fear the enemy more, or me?
Alright, you gotta love a stank a sort of big speech, or at least that's the way that I think of that one. Anyway, here we go. Looks like the enemy Doom Divers are trying to target a stank herself, but fortunately she's rather quick on that sled. 70 speed is enough to dodge the shots of the Doom Divers, homing or not, so we should be just fine. The rest of our army has, as usual, separated itself and is moving towards the line of gobos. Shouldn't be a particularly difficult time in dealing with them, especially as the combination of the Flocks of Doom and Vengeance of the Spirits should rather quickly deal massive damage to the massive numbers of enemies. Alright, looks like our main line has made it in, our Regiments of Renown plus our Frost Worms as well, and we'll buff them all up with that Vicin's Wild Form to make sure they have enough armor to deal with being surrounded like this. I'm gonna get a little bit of spell work coming down on the blobs of enemy gobos, the Assault of Stone. Should, I imagine, clear a fair few. It's a fairly decent bombardment for a bound spell, especially against blobs like this, and we'll keep buffing everybody up as well. Gulias and Vicin's Wild Form up on everybody here, so they're healing and they're more heavily armored. We've also made it in on the flanks, where the additional Snow Leopards and Things in the Woods have caught Boar Boys and have caught Goblin Wolf Riders. Goblin Wolf Rider Archers. Okay, close enough, game. Close enough, and damn. The wolves look tiny compared to those Things in the Woods, who are ripping them apart with gusto. Frankly, I'm sure the Snow Leopards would have been able to handle them just fine as well, but the thing is, we want to handle them a little bit faster. Another Vengeance of the Spirits comes down. If nothing else, it's a really cool looking spell. The Haglord generally just plain looks really cool. I want to see what this would look like in combination with a combination of the big old Talon Vortex from the Cathians, because they kind of have a similar color scheme and work maybe quite nicely together. And there we go, Mother Estankia reckon face up close, so the Gobos no threat to her, and I do believe the battle is pretty much ours. Let's see, bounce bar's at about 95% in our favor. Who's the last holdout here? Oh, it's the enemy lord who's currently being chased around by Snow Leopards. And being a shaman, we'll have no chance at fighting those either. And there we go, the shaman shatters to Kitka and to Fluffy, and with that, the battle is ours. Lovely, no problem at all, and certainly not what the auto-resolve is going to say. Alright, there we go, easy enough. Certainly not the right kind of army from the enemies to deal with the Stankas, so they were always going to suffer for it. We're gonna heal up simply because we don't really need the gold anymore to this point in time. Stankia, you can move back into March stance, and we'll see where Festus goes. I expect that he's going to Gorcel, and if we stop him there and take Gorcel for ourselves, that would be swell. Scout Yojin, you can sort of just stick around, but be in a different territory than Estanka, since you have that negative orthodoxy trait, that debuff that you do for Hag Witches. Anyway, you, Tzarina Katarin, are going to start moving to Zharna Grund. We still need you to get a retrofit going, but hopefully we'll deal with it later. Oh, I forget, did we get an alliance going with these guys or no? Well, we got the non-aggression pact, and well, it was the military access that I was just thinking about, and yes, we do have that. Now, are you willing? I know we could build these up to be worth more. Let's do you, and let's do you, and you know what? We'll upgrade one of them on. I guess we only can upgrade one of them anyway. I'm curious to find out whether the degree to which this one should be worth more than this one, considering this one will have a building and this one will have both a military building, so that should be worth about the same, and one of them will be upgraded in tier and then one of them will not be. Always room for a little bit of experimentation. And Vladimir Mikheyev still winning despite the lack of your mage, but we'll get there eventually. Obviously I did the little minor battles as well as I could between the episodes. Fetid Catacombs. I guess we can have you take this and allow Igor Talichev. Wait, there's nobody at Blood Mountain, is there? A moment. Yeah, there's nobody at Blood Mountain, so you can occupy Blood Mountain. Like so. And occupy it. Then we can uncollect the income for obvious reasons, and you might as well build that up. And then we can send Recruiter Gaspar here to the Fetid Catacombs, which has relatively lackluster defenses, and use Igor as a backup. Like so. And this should allow us to auto-resolve it with hopefully little damage. Little enough. Huh. How is that even... How would that even have happened? All these Kosovoid archers getting that badly damaged. Almost the entire army wouldn't physically be able to catch them. I guess I'm not even sure that the Warhounds could with their buffs. So yeah, I have no idea how that possibly could have happened in the auto-resolve. It's not representing what a realistic battle would look like. Go figure, right? Warbear for Recruiter Gaspar, that's fine. Another Snowflake Pendant, and the Cold Mires is now ours. We'll go those magic wards of climate change, and then as soon as that's up, we'll start building some stuff. Igor Talichev, you are actually going to go to Blood Mountain now. And you should be able to reinforce Vladimir Mikheyev at Infernius next turn. Vladimir, you are going to... I guess you could raid for a turn, it's not like you're healing. Go right here. We'll see what this guy does and where he attempts to go, if anywhere, from Infernius. Oh wow, this is basically worthless. Watch him attack us because he thinks that this army is weak. It wouldn't be the first time. Also, how long until we have our mage back? I mean, damn, 2 turns, alright. Getting there slowly but surely. Victor Zambin and co. Alright, so I see Village the Curseling is still here. In March stance, mind you, but still here. And there are no breaches in the wall. So the question lies in what do we do with you? We were... oh. Like no defenses here. But we still should declare war on these guys. Oh, and we'll have to wait for a turn as well, won't we? Because we don't have... we still don't have Siege Attacker on anybody. Wait. You do have Siege Attacker. I thought I checked before and I was surprised to see that you didn't. Maybe it was added and I hadn't noticed. Anyway, we're gonna declare war on you, Village. You are currently friendly with the Blessed Dread, who we're already at war with. But we can still ask somebody for this. We are in alliances with both of these guys, so it doesn't necessarily matter who. We probably shouldn't even do that because we'll just end up taking their money. I mean, I guess we could use the additional relationship. We'll join the war against the Puppets of Misrule, but we will not ask for money, like so. There you go, good enough. Then, the problem is this. If Village attempts to ambush Victor Zambin, it wouldn't be so great. So Zambin, we're gonna send you back to the Dragon Crossroads around here, roughly.
I lead, you follow.
And you'll stay in ambush stance. I was actually hoping that the place would offer us a little bit more ambush, and we'll see what Village does, how he reacts to all this. Maybe it'll work out. Otherwise, we're going to send Beledna the Defender in, I guess, Motherland stance? Maybe? Or channeling stance. Motherland stance is only one defending, so it's not going to help. Yeah, that's fine. We go to the Red Fortress. Decisive defeat, I'm reasonably sure Beledna could actually handle this by herself, should she need to. Let's see if this is auto-resolvable. And you can be in, I think, in camp stance for the additional melee defense and stuff. Alright, to the Red Fortress, and Pyrrhic victory now, but it will kill off one of these guys. Alright, we're gonna manually fight this real quick because, well, the auto-resolve is making these things necessary. To be fair, for this particular battle, I'm not necessarily surprised about the auto-resolve and what it's saying here. Mostly because, let's face it, we're still not at a full stack with Uragni's army. Not that he's ever needed it, but this isn't a weird sort of a result, as we've seen many weird result throughout this campaign, where like our full stacks of Kossars would lose half their number to like, I don't know, a garbage garrison of 6 Marauders or something like that, because the auto-resolve hates Kislev so much. Anyway, start deployment here. We will move on through the gatehouse, and you can, I guess, come in as a reinforcement a little bit closer. Oh, are you, really? There's no place here? Not a single place here, that's what you're telling me right now. Really? That's kind of annoying. Okay, fine. Actually, no, I don't like this place. Alright, fine, go there, whatever. They'll run here. Start battle, go for the gatehouse, max out the speed, slowly but surely break through it, and take a little bit of damage. Do you have any kind of regeneration? I forget. You do not. Okay, so we'll need to be a little bit careful with you, at the very least, until we get the Patriarchs arriving in. And considering how long it's probably going to take you to break through that gate, that's probably just fine. Alrighty, well, Belena, you can keep on attacking that, and we'll just keep on waiting. So how's everybody doing? Let's see. We've done a little bit of damage to the Forsaken due to the Mortis Engine effect of the Frostworm there. Oh, and it's forced them into Rampage. That's kind of funny. And they're because of their in Rampage, they're going to run out and attempt to annoy us out here. Yeah, fair enough. We could start with our first Blizzard if we wanted to. I feel like it's probably not enough enemy units to be concerning ourselves with it. And there we go. Uragni and Coke have arrived on field. And speed it up again a little bit. Okay, whoa. Get everybody over here. Try not to get yourselves killed by those towers. And Gotrek is back now, so at least we won't have him be all angry about the state of affairs. Anyway, the gate is still being worked on. I'm almost tempted to summon the to use Guardian Call in order to get through the gate, but And ooh, these guys have activated these towers. All right, fine. We'll send the infantry around like this so that they're, well, not ripped apart by it. Also, where is Felix? Oh, he's all the way back there with the infantry. All right, well, he's not going to be as quick as Uragni, but, well, let's face it, we shouldn't expect him to be. Ooh, looks like the towers are damaging our Hagwitch fair bit. And the suppression isn't working so well for us. And how's that gate looking? Nearly there. It's a little bit more. I'm going to need to heal up the Hagwitch. All right, come on now. Nearly there, and I guess we can speed it up again. And hopefully the Oath Brothers of Tor will be okay. There's Gotrek, and we're through the gate now. Beautiful. Okay, I don't know why you guys backed off, but it's fine. And all of you get in here. Gotrek and Felix, you can follow suit as well, as soon as you get there. Alright, and the Brothers of Tor have the Call of Tor ability, which gives them the, I assume, an Urnon's Thunderbolt equivalent. Anyway, pop that battle hymn as soon as this other unit of Chaos Warriors is close by. Maybe get our first heal going in a sec as well. Alright, come on now. I want to see the Bear Cab do a little bit of work, and I guess we'll buff ourselves up like so. There's the Saliak's Lullaby. And I didn't pop the Tor's Battle Hymn. I just use all the buffs. Alright, these guys can fight for a little while. We can also give ourselves the Missin's Wild Form upgraded. Summon some units as well. Alright, and now I want to watch the Bear Cab swing away at those Chaos Warriors a little bit. Plus, these are the Oath Brothers of Tor, so they're a very fancy Bear Cab with those glowing weapons and glowing armor on them. And there we go, and wait, we might as well... Oh, this isn't a single use, we could just... Huh. Wait, actually this isn't an Urnon's Thunderbolt, is it? Is it just lightning crashing down among them? Ooh, oh my! It's like a reskinned... whatchamacallit? It's like a reskinned... Sigmarite Faith ability. That's kind of interesting. Wasn't expecting that. Hammer of Sigmar, but anyway, let's get a few buffs / debuffs going, maybe another healing. But the battle is nearly ours. Frankly, oh wow, Felix, why are you so dang slow? At 35 move speed, yeah, so he's basically standard infantry speed, but, well, for us, That was real slow. Get another Taurus Battle Hymn going in, maybe another Saliak's Lullaby. Although it looks like most of our units are now starting to look pretty healthy. Alright, and not just a good old-fashioned brawl here. What the heck? Oh. There's Dark Elf units here. I guess the Blessed Dread had their outpost here. I got briefly confused. Like it's a little bit odd that that there seems to be a tendency in the game, or well, maybe not so much tendency in the game, but in the campaigns, which I guess is the game. You know what I mean? Actually, do you know what I mean? What I was getting at is that Naggarond seems to tend to get friendly with Valkia's faction, generally speaking, which just seems a little bit odd to me, because Dark Elves, especially Malekith, but generally speaking, Dark Elves don't like Chaos one bit. Alright, minus the Cult of Pleasure. Let's get you guys moving away from the blob there. I don't know what made them so stuck. Not a lot of room, admittedly, to maneuver the Bear Cav around in this particular battle, but, well, it doesn't really matter, because they're not really suffering any damage, and we are certainly going to win this brawl. Mostly our HP has recovered as well. We can also pop another one of these Flocks of Dooms, and once our passive is up, which is 30 seconds, and we can pop a Listen's Wild Form to get that damage increase. Man, these summoned things in the woods look really cool. I really like this effect. They look ghostly and like, I don't know, it's like stars or something. It's pretty neat. Just beasts out of your nightmares, which is, what is appropriate here. Anyway, looks like a unit of Chaos Warriors remains. How does the enemy look in their... Oh, was this basically all they got left? I got a couple of units on the walls there, but I'm not so sure that the enemy will still make use of them. As in, they might shatter before anything else happens. We can't go up on those... Well, actually, we could send Gotrek and Felix up on those walls if we wanted to. These places are kind of far, and yeah, no, they're going to shatter. They're gonna shatter. The last of the Chaos Warriors will run, and so will the Bleak Swords, and we can speed it up because the battle should be ours. We just need to get proximity with the enemy units, assuming there's no units here, but there doesn't appear to be. Alright, come on now. I'm still surprised that they have this little proximity mechanic. It's always felt a little bit weird to me. I just wonder why it's the case. Alright, move, and okay, now you've taken damage, and you didn't need to. Zaliak's Lullaby, and speed it up, out, heal that real quick, and we're good to go. Alright, obviously the enemy stood no chance there whatsoever, 0 losses, but we didn't even send any unit that probably was likely to suffer losses. I mean, I guess the Oath Brothers of Tor, in theory, might have lost a model or two fighting against the Chaos Warriors with halberds in particular. I think they would have been able to probably body the Chaos Knights, especially as they are a regiment of renown. As in our warbears are. Alright, now that's Village's capital. He's not going to be happy about this, especially if this is his only settlement, or at least his only dark fortress. It'll mean that's basically all his income gone. We'll occupy the place, and Pyotr Verpayev, you don't need a Kislevite Kossar because you are not a lord. Servant, sure. Another Mirror of the Ice Queen, very nice find. Alrighty, that I'm happy with, and pretty happy about the Steel Standard, which we can still put to use. Red Wastes are ours, and we're going to pop them into the Magic Words of Climate Change as well. I think we're losing more devotion than we're making per turn now, but, well, and what can you do? Anyway, Yarogni, I would like you to start march stancing this way. You're not going to heal up, but you can heal up at the Dragon's Crossroad. And then we'll move towards Village. We'll see what Village does, and I have a feeling he should disband like half his army, right? He has one settlement, and that one settlement is Snake Gate. Gates generate no income, so his base faction income, which is 4,000, yeah, but the AI cheats so that these units are probably worth more than 4,000, aren't they? Or less than that. If we had this, it would probably be roughly, well, actually, it's not the most expensive army, I'll admit. Okay, well, either way, we'll find out as we get there. And Maduran Sinov, you have a couple of things you need to do. The first... Well, actually, no, you only have one thing right now. Just go. And then you can go into March Stance, Vitaly Isinyev. I believe I was going to use you as a recruiter, correct? Just have to double check here. Yeah, Kossar Commander, which means you're going to act as a recruiter. In fact, wait, you land here, and you land here as well. Huh. Actually, go here, you go here, you transfer the Kossars, because they no longer need to be in here, and I guess transfer the Streltsy as well. Alright, and then you can now be a recruiter. Alright, we'll get some use out of you. Maduran Sinov, you are going over this way, and you're going to be taking the units from Dmitry Osokin. Dmitry, there is still a few things I would like you to do. I'm almost tempted to... Wait, what can we recruit at Prague? Let me just see here. Because if this guy's going this way anyway, we should be fine. We can recruit the Elemental Bears. You have the recruitment reductions. And it'll take 3 turns to do so, but that may not necessarily be the worst thing in the world. Alright, here's what we'll do. Is there a lord like you that we can borrow that's for free? Yeah, alright. You, I switch. I'm gonna take you, and then next turn we're gonna have you ferry the troops over to Maduran Sinov. That'll allow us to either move Maduran Sinov this way to help out, or possibly down the Uskalag Canal to head down here. Though frankly, I'm not so sure that we need to get in it with the Chaos Dwarves, though the Legion of Asgore are actually doing quite well. They seem to have conquered most of Imric's stuff, and are looking to destroy Karakadrin as well. Good for them. Good for the Chaos Dwarves. They're showing up. Usually the Chaos Dwarf AI does okay, but I've rarely seen it do really, really well, so I'm reasonably impressed, let's say. Anyway, let's do a little tech thievery, mostly because I accidentally clicked on one of the tech thieves, so here we are. Steel Tech, Lendelling is still down here, and that's going to stay as it is, well, until next turn. Tech Thief to Middenstag. Alright, another success, and was that the last of the Tech Thieves? We're still going to Steel Tech because regardless, if we continue on the other channel, and frankly, I'm still having a lot of fun with this campaign, so reason suggests that I probably will continue this campaign on the other channel. At the very least to get some epic fights against the Slaneshi, then we'll still need plenty of tech and stuff. Alright, another success, and was that the last of the Tech Thieves? Scout Yojin? Oh, alright, but another critical failure. The most important of the Tech Thieves, in many ways. Oh, look at the Slaneshi are even hanging out together. They're both here. Why, I don't even know why they're both here. I'm not sure that Nikari is fighting anybody out here. Well, that's cute. They're having a Slaneshi sort of Slaneshi exchange. It's wholesome family fun. Anyway, let's see. We are going to get a new Ataman in... I don't know, the Blasted Waste's a decent option. I think it's our most money-making place. I mean, Troll Country's not bad as well. This Blasted Waste will actually make more money if we ever delete those defensive structures, so there's that to consider as well. Anyway, we also have Fiscally Prudent. Yes, always nice pickup. Man, this guy, yeah, this guy's one of our first ones, isn't he? One of our first Atmans, I mean. Another one of these guys has, what do you have? Banisher and Good Host, definitely Good Host for the growth, and that's it for you guys. Alright, any more battles to be had? Let's see. Recruiter Talichev, oh right. So with the U, we either move to recruit. I was gonna use Dmitry Osokin to recruit anyway. Oh yeah, okay, that actually, yeah, let's do that right now. Dmitry Osokin, you're going to get 2 Frostworms, and you're going to get 3 Elemental Bears? Yeah. For Beledna the Defender. Plus, she'll have the Frozen Heart of Winter, so that's 5 Elemental Bears and a bunch of Ice Guard as well. This is going to take a little bit of a while to recruit. We might get her a couple of little Groms, just so that she has an artillery option to make enemies move forward towards the Ice Guard. But we'll have to recruit the Ice Guard at Kislev. I think what we may actually want to do is move you to Salzenmund, Or possibly down to here. Wait, Draca, can we get you to join war against the Fecondites? You're at war with the Deceivers. Where are the Fecondites? What the heck? Oh, we're not at war with the Fecondites. I was like, what the heck is going on? Well, I guess we can't or shouldn't declare war on them right now. Talzin is the main stag, but you can move towards Salzenmund so that Mother Estanka doesn't need to do it, so send you out here. You'll probably pick up a plague on the way, but that's kind of inescapable at this point. Yeah, keep collecting the income, it's fine. It's fine. And that's Recruiter Talichev, Recruiter Guyovich, and Vlasi. You guys are going to continue recruiting until we declare war on Bellicor, which won't happen until, I think, next turn. You are going to grab this shipwreck, and then you're going to land at the Citadel of Lead, and then presumably explore the island. And resolve. Oh, right, the damage. Saliak provides to heal up. Magic power. Curse the Slit gives us nothing by the looks of it. Well, nothing other than money. Not that that's a horrible thing. And you will want to land here. So, go to the Straits of Chaos, or through the Straits of Chaos. Stay in the water, land next turn, you'll be at more or less full HP, and then we'll head to Conquata immediately after. Lovely. Alright, so that's Kastalton. Anybody else need to do anything? Alright, Recruiter Guyovich and Velasi. Continue recruiting for a little bit. Let's say more Kossars. You can never have too many Kossars. We could also build you some Streltsy. But we're not using this army to auto-resolve, we're just going to use it mostly to hold Marienburg and the sort of smaller territories here. The army isn't meant to do anything, really. And I believe that's it for the moves. So, let's do buildings real quick, or building real quick, though there isn't really much to be concerned with, since materials at sea unscrewed our stuff. Our admin. It's a decent money-making province. I was wondering whether we should build the church for more devotion per turn, or more money per turn via the Silent Grove. I'm gonna say Silent Grove for more witches, and the additional fact that while we do have plenty of money right now, it doesn't mean that after we build a ton more troops, as we're currently doing, we will still have plenty of money remaining. Roadhouse, please. Alright, Mountains of Nalfari, yes to the Farm Estate, yes to the Trade Quorum, and well, I guess you're gonna do the same thing and go for Neary Woods. Keep making money everywhere. And what about you? You are missing the farmstead in the Forest of Decay, which is definitely needed. Blood Marshes. Farmstead, go figure. Plain of Illusions, yes to the port, yes to the Trade Quorum, yes to the Farmstead, and yes to the Farmstead. Hellspire Mountains. Oh. I love the massive amount of growth that we've been able to get with Kislev. And the massive amount of money we're making now is due to investing in all so much into growth throughout the campaign. Emmerich is probably real jealous. If we could have nearly as much of the growth in the Emmerich campaign as this, it would be so much easier. Farmstead? Though you don't necessarily want it to be too much easier. Plus, we worked hard to get here with this campaign, let's face it. It took a lot of effort going through all the enemies that we were surrounded by. Alright. Churches and no farms yet, but we will build farms there, so not to worry. I know you guys were really concerned. Castle von Rauken, please. You can get Trade Quorum, always a Trade Quorum. And you can, I guess, start with a farm for a little bit of extra growth. Red Wastes, we're almost done with the admin. More merchant traders, we'll get Market Square here, we'll get the farmstead. I'm wondering whether we need public order. Well, we'll get the taverns for the growth and public order. It's not like we're collecting income there anyway. And Twisted Towers, taverns, and oh, no, nothing here because we will, we just got the commandment up and running, so it'll be a bit. Wasteland, however, most definitely yes. That'll mean Marienburg will be upgradable next turn, and that's what we want. Alright, the rest of that I believe is good. Building upgrades, outpost upgrades. Sure, why not? We have the cash. And another outpost upgrade, go for it. And now that's most definitely it. End turn. This turn we should be able to declare war on the Fecondites, and it won't be a very long war, I'd wager. They basically have one full stack, and it's not one that we're super concerned with. I noticed that Village has not disbanded his troops, though I don't know if he's moved yet or not. And, oh, Siggy has arrived. He's going to take the Fortress of the Damned. Well, good for him, and he has a decent stack with a lot of Chosen with halberds. Quite interesting. All right. Well, Siggy, you can take that Fortress of the Damned back, and we'll now divert one of our proper stacks towards you, finally. I was wondering where he was. Settlement lost, Master Mason, that's fine. Ready for DUT, technology researched, and... Okay, now Village is completely gone. Oh wow, look at... Look at the rats, and I guess to a lesser degree, the Blessed Dread. They're doing quite well there, aren't they? Someone receives Plague, Erengrad, Yerogny. How many more turns do we got until... Oh, we got one turn. And we could probably still use you to take Wei Jin. Blood of the Defender's army is not ready yet, so we can keep her with Yerogny for a little bit. I guess we could take Yerogny and put him in... We just need to be close enough to Wei Jin to attack it. Yeah, just go into March stance. We'll heal up here because it's an allied territory. And unless the enemy has a full stack, they're not really going to be a threat to us. And actually, even if they do have a full stack, I just don't see them threatening Yerogny. One day he'll have a full army. Well, maybe not today, but soon. You are going to go into Motherland stance. You're going to take Snake Gate. Did she maybe kill Village's full stack? I'm not sure. Huh. Oh, really? Really? Okay, just besiege Snake Gate, frankly. Besiege it. We'll see if the village is actually hidden in attempts to attack you or not. Just in case, we'll also level up this Patriarch. You have Sons of Kislev maxed out. Let's get you Thunderous Orator for this. More Taurus battle him is always better. And we can't build... Oh, actually, we can. I lied. Do this. This obviously should be auto-resolvable, but frankly, Victor Zambin isn't in any hurry to get anywhere, so I'm not concerned about him taking his time. Now, Festus, he's taken Gorcel. Can we reach him at Gorcel? Indeed we can, isn't it beautiful? And, oh, damn. Karl is gonna reach Salzenmund, but we can reach it first, which is good, because we may keep it for ourselves, but we may also trade it. There was a full stack here, belonging to Festus. I no longer see it, which is not great, because I'd like to know where it is. Could these guys have destroyed them? No, they're not at war. Well, we're about to be at war, so... Festus, you're our long victory condition. You are currently at war with Reichland and Wissenland and Nuln. We are now in an alliance with Wissenland and Nuln.
And I shall treat with you well.
They might get us into a war with Kislev, or Kislev, with Vlad and the Vampire. I don't know why I said Kislev. I just got Kislev on the mind, folks. And plus, everybody keeps saying Kislev, Kislev, both in the game and in the comments. There's nothing in my mind but Kislev. I go to work and I talk to people. I'm just like Kislev. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I'm using myself today. Military alliance. I mean, we could. It's if you're wondering why I haven't done a military alliance with them right now, it's because they still haven't teched up to land ships or anything interesting, unlike some of the other factions. What the heck? Followers of Nagash, they want to trade with us. They're friendly with the Awakened, they're at war with Khemri and the Pirates of Sartosa, but this is all so far from us that we really don't care. And look at the balances of power. Who's this? Disciples of the Maw, strength rank 5, and the... Who's strength rank 2? Well, whoever it is, I don't know. Krazakarek, still alive, eh? Still alive over there? Kind of managing to hold. Frankly, the diplomacy doesn't really matter to us because we're too strong. Anyway, let's ignore that. Tzarina Katarin, we will once again... I was about to say start with you. You cannot reach Tzarina Grun next turn, or this turn, so just go into channeling stance and go right here. We should, in theory, be able to force Scorth into a field battle because he has, like, 3 stacks plus the super elite garrison of Tzarina Grund. So that should be good. Next, ooh, I wanted to check this out. Titan's Notch and Yeti Peak. How much are they worth? Titan's Notch is worth 32. Yeti Peak is worth 32. Okay, so this is interesting because we notice that Yeti Peak is the capital territory and that it has the tier 2 settlement. Titan's Notch only has the tier 1, but despite that fact, they're worth the exact same amount, which, well, I think it's interesting. But anyway, we'll give you Titan's Notch first, and that'll give us a defensive alliance. Just so he doesn't declare war on us, mostly because we don't want to push on down here. Like so. And then, if we give you Yeti Peak, will you military alliance? Will you get us into a war with anybody? Not anybody that we care about, I think, so yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine, do it. Oh. He might take Veil of Woe, though on the other hand, Gorthok will probably just retake it anyways. Just do it, why not? Why not? And we'll build the outpost with him immediately, not in the Great Hall of Goresus, but I guess in the same settlement. I'm curious to see whether there are any units that we might get. I don't think, at least I doubt, that we have access to stone horns, but we'll see. If he has an old camp, it may be possible. We need to build it somewhere where it's reasonably safe, so... You know... Let's do Grimtop, I guess. Well, actually, it's kind of close to potential enemies. Maybe Amble Peak? Amble Peak an option? You know what? Veil of Titans. I like Veil of Titans more. Let's do Veil of Titans. And then we'll build it up to tier 2 and then hopefully get access to all their stuff. Anyway, back to it. Vladimir Mikheyev, you should be able to take Infernius. Ooh. I was gonna have Igor Talichev reinforced, but since Siggy is here, we should move towards Siggy instead, meaning you, sir, are going to go into ambush stance. Oh, we're still not... Oh, this we're immune to the corruption. Oh. That's a problem. What if he tries to go for Serpent Jetty? I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Because then he can just take all this stuff. It's relatively undefended. Don't make us send Castalton up there. He wants to go... We want to go after Be'lakor. Okay, so I think that the way we have to do this is this. Siggy, you cannot reach Mr. Recruiter Gaspar. So Gaspar, you're going to head out to sea, and you'll land at the Serpent Jetty if you need to. Igor, you're going to go to the Palace of Princes and defend it. Possibly against both of these guys. But as needed, generally speaking. I was hoping that we could get you into an ambush, but it's not going to happen. Next up, let's get the Fate of Biuna. Should be decently effective against the Chosen. And we do have decent amounts of mana. Sorka Gospodar, I guess you can help out Infernius, which we will probably have to fight. But that's not such a bad thing because it is actually a fairly decent, I think, garrison, right? No, actually. Not really. Never mind. I thought it would be stronger, because it was their last settlement, but alas for them, it was not. Alright, Chaos Breaker, good. There's another Standard of the Empty Step, another Shield of Sacrifice, but not for you. And Crag now destroyed. You're gonna go into Channeling and keep on channeling, and then the both of you will advance towards the Silver Tower of Sorcerers. We want to build anything here? Yeah, just build the market. Never have too many markets. Ooh, we got a new tech pick as well. I do believe, let's see, we got decent amounts of missile resistance for basically all of our troops. Was there something else that's really, really good that we want early? There was that chaos... Oh, right, I did want Arabian Fire because of the flaming attacks for little Groms. And then there is this. Since we're fighting a lot of chaos, we could go through to Prague Veterans in order to get the immunity to psychology against chaos in general, which is pretty solid as well. But it'll take a fair few turns, so I think we'll start with Arabian Fire, because I want our Dodge army up and running ASAP. Oh, right, and there's also the income from ports. A lot of good techs in this part. Anyway, Madurna Sinov, you are getting ready to get your full stack up and running, so let's move you here. And let's have you take all of this, but not the Frostworms, because those are for Beledna the Defender. Maybe actually she might... Maybe 4 will be fine. We might not need this many. Well, you know what? Let's build it, and if we cancel it later, we can cancel it later. As needed. You're gonna do this, and you are going to transfer the Dodge army, mostly fire-damaging army. Kind of curious to see how this will perform. It's a lot of Zargar and a lot of little Groms, very different from what we've been doing so far. Certainly haven't had anything like artillery main focus. And you will then move to Kislev while we send this stuff to Belitna the Defender. And then, oh, actually, no, we can use you to transfer Ice Guard to... the Tzarina Katarin as well. Anyway, Mother Stankia, I would like you to move into Motherland stance. We will declare war on the Fecondites. Just straight up declare war. Don't bother calling your allies to help either. And I don't think this is worth fighting because this is basically garbage, unless the game says that you have to fight it. No, it doesn't. Okay, at least it recognizes that this is mostly done. I know it's Festus himself, but this is basically nothing. Damage primarily on the frost worms, but for whatever reason the auto-resolve doesn't particularly like those, so... not surprising. Casualty or punishment trait, frankly, Mother Ostankia can certainly use that, so I'm reasonably happy with that. Enemy killed in battle, Scroll of Amber, etc. We'll use Recruiter Talichev to do the same thing to and at Salzenmund. And I really doubt that Karl is going to go for Brass Keep. The Rampager standard as well, Occupy. Though you don't get to keep this, sir.
I stand for Kislev.
You're not a real fighter, you're just a recruiter. And, well, actually, the Woodsman's Hut is a decent find because of the income from farms, so we may actually hold on to the place. We should grab the Black Pit and Lorelorn and a few of the other things. Oh, actually, what we really want is Middenstag, because it'll be worth a lot to Karl. And there's some territories that we potentially want to trade. But anyway, let's see if anybody else needs to move. Recruiter Guyovich and this guy. We're ready to declare war on Bellicor, are we not? I do believe we are. Declare war. Don't call your allies. No need for it. Is Pyrrhic victory really against this? Okay, wait, we'll see. I might do this between the episodes. But if we have to end the turn, then we'll have to do it now. But, well, not a huge deal. I just want to achieve the long victory this particular episode. Recruiter Isenyev. I forgot where exactly we want to send you. We'll probably have to use you to defend the coast, more likely than not. Though on the other hand, I suppose if somebody declares war on us from down here, or the Chaos Dwarfs start pushing up this way... The Slaaneshi could sail down the coast, but more likely than not we'd be able to defend at Conquata. Well, you know what? Yeah, we could probably send you around to Conquata and defend there. And maybe recruit a few more basic units. As in Kossars and whatnot. But you could do that at Conquata as well, so not a huge deal. Now, where were you in the list for me to have found you? Stalton, I'd love for you to fight, but, well, just wait a minute. Velasi Golitsin, you are going to grab... Oh! Wait, we're not at war with Bellicor? Why? Wait, are you telling me he didn't join the war when we attacked his vassal? He was just like, nah, you can die? That's kind of hilarious. And he doesn't have anything at Conquata. See, you know, Conquata is worth fighting. There's a lot of decent troops there. We could still declare war on him, or we could just wait another turn. I wasn't expecting this. Alright, fine, we'll just wait another turn, because we could just recruit more units here, why not? More Kossars? More Kislevite warriors, doesn't matter. Never go wrong with more Kossars, there we go. And you can just stay here and channel, I guess. Alright, Ottomans, we probably have something. Bolster control, pioneer, character experience gains, faction-wide, and research rate. Always a decent thing to have. Next up we have, not Scout, but the Tech Thieves. You can start with Grungzint, and you can critically fail. Shame. Shame. Next Tech Thief, you have Specialist maxed out, and oh, I should have stolen before going here. Not too late. Go to Dietershofen, and then we'll send you to Lorelorn, I guess. Don't you critically fail too? Okay, good. Next Tech Thief, there's many a Tech Thief to be Even that tech, there we go. Hates green skins, good. You can steal from Brass Keep. Nice, nice, success. And I'll level them up between the episodes, as I usually do. But back to Bleakhold Fortress. And failure, but 'twasn't a critical one, so there is that. And I do believe that's everybody. Alright, so quick building, and then I guess we do indeed have to fight Gestalten's battle real quick. But we might as well. His is still a relatively new army, and still certainly enjoyable. Kirik Vlag, we're going to build the Toolmaker here because it's a plus 10% income from all buildings. Huh, plus 10%. For some reason I thought it was plus 20. Yeah, but Kirik Vlag and this territory in general does make a decent amount of cash, and ooh, we get a decent amount of cash out of the Haunted Forest as well. And we get the furs out of this, but we also need ice training fields, so I think we're gonna go for those. Assuming we can skip all of these. Yeah. Go for the Haunted Forest rather than the Toolmaker. Mountains of Hell, let's go for the Silent Grove there. And, ooh, Forjakova. We're ready to go to tier 5. That's always lovely. Gonna be an expensive place to level up for once. We might not actually have enough money next turn. I'm not entirely sure. We shall see. Wait a moment. Did Forjakova have taverns? Because if it did, it no longer needs them. Oh, no, it did not. Huh. And yet it beat everybody else in terms of leveling up. Well, good for it. And get another ice training fields. We're about to be building a lot of ice guard, so yeah. And I'm inclined to say Eerie Woods for the money. It's not like we need additional capacities. I mean, in theory, we'd be building both shortly anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Mountains of Nalfari, let's upgrade that Silent Grove for more cash. We're over 51k now, despite the fact that we're building every turn. And go for the farmstead here. In Stone Sky Foothills, go for the Orthodoxy Church. Oh, I also think that we had a anti-corruption or anti-plague commandment up here somewhere. Because we had plagues running, but I no longer remember where it was. You're in the recruitment commandment, but that's just fine because we're about to recruit a ton of stuff there. Erengrad has the plague now. You know what? I'm just going to ignore the plagues. They'll run out. Festus will be dead, and then the plagues will be gone eventually anyway, so I don't think we have to be super concerned about them. Plus, let's face it, the Nurglite plagues are nowhere, not even a maybe not a tenth, but like they're nowhere near as bad as Skaven plagues are. Skaven plagues are just horrifically bad. But yeah, Nurgle's alright. As we know, Nurgle's a pretty chill guy, so anyway, Farmstead. I say that semi-sarcastically, I guess. As the only sort of chaos god that somewhat cares about his followers. Farmstead for you, and we're good at... Wait, is this a church? No, it's not a church. I'm doing the building on autopilot, but it's mostly just repeating the sort of same type of buildings that we build elsewhere, so that's hardly surprising. And, ooh, wow, this is a decent province. And you know what? We should upgrade you first, because we have the medicinal plants there. And money, and... Oh, wow, we actually ran out of money. Damn. Go figure. First time that's happened in a while. Alright, Gestalten, let's do you a fight real quick, and then we continue trying to knock Festus out, and continuing to look for his last army. Unless it has in fact been destroyed. Wait, he has 2 territory? Oh, right. He still has this. Would you be willing to now join war against the Fecund Knights? Minus 84. Man, Dryka. No, guess not. Alright, Gestalten, start with this. And do this real quick. We have, well, a little tiny bit of levels on you. Let's get you Dodger Song of Winter's Sunlight. Nope, I lied. Well, actually, we can't really take any benefit out of the shootiness yet. So fine, get Dodger Song of Winter's Sunlight. And we'll level everybody else after presumabing. Let's actually get you Miscast Reduction and Arcane Conduit. And the Patriarchs, I'm sure, will be fine. Especially for this. Okay, now that I was wondering whether the level ups would be enough for us to auto-resolve it, but alas, no, so go.
Our duty is to
fight and die for Orson. Our lives have no other meaning.
I feel like Castelton isn't quite as good an orator as as a Mother of Stank is, or at the very least her speech sounds a lot louder to me. But anyway, here we go. Should have a little bit of fun here. Gonna be a small battle, mind you, but I always enjoy watching the gun line and do its thing. Plus, the fact that it's souped up quite a lot with our buffs. We're at 80 armor, 66 melee attack, and 54 melee defense, and when the enemy closes the distance, we can switch the disdain of the Dragon Emperor to the Bastion of the Great Cities, giving us an extra 25 armor and popping our Streltsy armor up to 105, which is pretty big, and will allow them to fight quite well in melee as well. They've basically gotten stats similar to Chaos Warriors. A little bit less on the melee defense, but generally speaking, quite nice. Anyway, enemies are moving on, and now we're at least trying to book their way towards us. The first of our Streltsy are firing, and the second line behind them will begin firing shortly as well. We did start annoying the enemy a little bit with our light war sleds, but have kept the heavy war sleds in the line so that they can fire over the heads of the other Streltsy and provide that lovely buff to them. Alright, let's see how this goes. Alright, fire away. Enemies are closing the distance, but the closer they get, the more dangerous the Boydanov's Brawlers blunderbusses are going to be. Castelton will lead his Yepiska battalion forward, as well as effectively the only non-hybrid full melee unit that we have in this particular army. But even though they're a support unit, we've been kind of using them as a sort of shock troop for this particular army, but it's actually worked out fairly decently well for them. Especially as they're always staying with Castelton, which kind of feels like it makes sense to me, since they're his signature unit and he only has one, since that's the only one we were allowed to confederate. Anyway, the gun line has nearly destroyed the enemy melee line, or pretty much destroyed the enemy melee. A few enemy range units remain as well, but I expect that they won't be on field too much longer. Castelton's attempting to duel the enemy chieftain while we back away the Episcop battalion so that they don't get gunned down by our own units. Probably the biggest danger to them here, as especially the blunderbuss units are liable to kill off a fair few of our own. And by the looks of it, this particular enemy army is going to fail to reach our line and move into melee, but not to worry, that was pretty much expected, and I'm sure we'll find another army for Castelton to fight that will reach us and will force the Streltsy to use their melee attacks as well. Anyway, a few more shots, and I do believe with that the army will shatter, running away or attempting to do so slowly under the heart of winter. And, oh, actually, they haven't quite shattered. There's a few of them coming back, though, I expect also. Not for too much longer. Alright, and now that was sufficient. There we go. We'll be back. I'm not so sure about that, Van Heimlings. I'm not so sure about that at all. I somehow don't think you'll be back. Alright, very nice. Once again, I was pleasantly surprised that it was a field battle. Thought that they had defensive structure, but I guess they did not, so yeah. Still very much enjoying watching the Streltsy do their thing, and this time around we were able to keep the heavy war sleds with the main line rather than act as harassers, but instead providing that lovely supporting armor and physical resistance. So we're getting the armor or potentially melee attack and reload and whatnot from the war drum, and the additional power up from the heavy war sleds, plus the frenzy on the Streltsy, meaning that if the enemy were to actually close the distance, though they failed to this time, and get into melee with them, they'd still be very much nasty enough to fight. Van Heimling's destroyed, and we completed some irrelevant mission, and we'll be hitting Conquata next turn. And oh, we can upgrade the Citadel of Lead to, actually, it's gonna take too long. Wait, It's a green territory. We can upgrade it. And I guess we gotta start with the Palisade because, well, if this is going to be our base for the assault on Ulthuan, then, well, we gotta use it as such. Lord not moved, unassigned skill points, damaged building... where? Gorcel. Okay, sure. And we might as well build the brine thing. And, oh, we didn't have enough money to upgrade the Marienburg. Okay, no, we need the money for that. We can do something. You're fighting Cult of Pleasure and Heralds of Ariel, eh? I forget, are we friendly with the Heralds of Ariel? Not really. Alright, well then I guess we can be friendly with Kata. Give us... Right, Tomb Kings don't really have much money. So that won't be enough. I'll just be relatively friendly with him for now. Followers of Nagash, no, we are not going to do anything there. Karazakarak. I mean, if they survive. Sure.
All here.
I'm not gonna do the military alliance, but we'll do the access. And I do believe that's it. We're not gonna peace out with anybody. We are probably still going to forego the Visenland and Nuln thing, just because it's liable to draw us into a war, potentially with Draca or something. Draca's really the one that I'm concerned about. But anyway, Marienburg Harbor, yes, and we will need defenses here. We already have the taverns, which was the main thing. We could go for the farm to grow even faster and more. We have assault. No, we gotta prioritize assault. That's faction-wide, but for all markets. It's too valuable. And besides, even without the defenses, we'll still have some troops there, plus all of this to defend, so the AI would probably need to bring 2 stacks no matter what. I guess in theory, if the Wood Elves were to attack it, their range units outrange Kossars, and thus would be able to kill them on top of the walls without Kossars being able to fire back, so there would be that. Settlement besieged, Snake Gate. Okay, yeah, that's us doing that. Huh, I wonder, if an enemy besieges you, is this symbol red rather than green? There's gotta be a way to tell them apart, right? At least I would assume. I guess we'll see. Anyway, Fecundite's nothing from him as yet. Fey Enchantress wants a military alliance, which is kind of surprising, all things considered. Straight up military alliance, eh? What happens if we start fighting the Wood Elves, then? Who will you choose? Why not? Maybe... Oh, wow, she's actually probably going to be dead. I see Heinrich Kemmler is there with, like, a bunch of stacks. Avalorn destroyed. They were... I think they were the last holdouts on Ulthuan, or is Yvrest the last holdout? I'm not sure, but the elves ain't doing so good. Ready for duty, Natasha Itchenko. Oh, well. Somebody's back, all the way back here, though. And Siggy hasn't moved. Okay, well, that's interesting. We would then be able to move to the Fortress of the Damned. And not in Motherland stance. Oh, this would be the one time that it would be useful because we'd be defending. I guess we could, you know, go right here and not besiege it. He might still be willing to attack us. Go here.
This land is ours.
We won't lose attrition anyway. I just want to make sure that we're not in forested territory, because that's not such a good thing for us. And we'll pop Recruiter Gaspar into Serpent Jetty like so. And we'll see how Siggy reacts to all this. Ritual Enforcer, that's fine. Oh, actually. Does Sigvold have the seduction ability? Okay, you have a Ritual Enforcer. You have a Ritual Enforcer. Do you have a Ritual Enforcer? No, you do not. Alright, so we're gonna have to give you one. For the Nomad Riding Master, Ritual Enforcer... Oh, you don't have a valet either? Alright, you should have a valet as well. I guess lose the Wailing Banner. Do you really need the Steel Standard? It's on you personally, allowing you to kite a little bit faster. Yeah, but you're kind of slow without it, so to be honest, maybe it is a decent idea. Alright, fine, screw the Wailing Banner. Ritual Enforcer should be down here. Oh, we have another tax collector. Should give that to one of the, Ritual Enforcer, there we go. Should give it to one of the recruiters to increase the amount of money we generate. Anyway, what do we want to see here? Okay, Ellen Delling's still being irritating.
Lady of the Glade.
What do you think about this? I'm tempted to attack Ellen Delling right now since he's not really doing anything. But then, see, the thing is, we need Mother Ostanka to attack the Brass Keep because we don't have anybody else nearby with a full stack. So I think we have to do that. Meaning, Mother Ostanka, you're going to move this way while healing up over in Weissmund. We're then going to instead send Recruiter Talicho. I mean, we could have you move to Brass Keep as well. To reinforce. Oh, there is that full stack. Alright, fine. Both of you move here then. You shouldn't be able to reach us. Stay in friendly territory, and we're going to have to send somebody to grab those territories. So, Recruiter Gujovic, we'll have you grab Arnau for us. And then we'll have Velasi grab Grungzint. Frankly, I wanted to... You know what, I should have done that the other way around and swapped those guys out, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. You're gonna head to Conquata, and you're gonna presumably besiege it. Belkor's at war with Torellis or on Citadel of Dusk. I guess there are still some elves alive. Not many, mind you, but some. And I guess we'll need to go for, well, still Market Square. Market Square everywhere. Fair war. Don't ask allies. I wonder where Bellicor is. As we checked before... Oh, wow, Ryan's right there. And, ooh, he might actually sally out. He has 3 settlements, so he does have a couple of main settlements somewhere else. Might just attack and kill Orion here. The thing is, it's, if not inevitable, fairly likely that Orion will at some point attack us. Minus 159 is quite a bit. They really don't like us. Ow. And the ogres have not taken the Veil of Woe, which is kind of interesting. They sacked it, I assume. And these guys did nothing about it. Huh. Aren't they supposed to react to it? A bit odd, but whatever. Well, anyway, Tzarina Katarin, you're most likely just going to besiege Yarnagren. We could also possibly even just attack this guy, if he's close enough, and draw all of them into a fight. But I think we'll save that for now. I'd like to see... Well, it's unlikely that we'll be able to knock out the Brass Keep in this particular turn. Or knock out the Fecund Knights in general. Also, you can take Rungzint. That hasn't changed. One bit of auto-resolve, Banner of Swiftness, and Occupy, and don't bother keeping the Banner of Swiftness. But you can build a Sawyer here and uncollect the income, and then go back to Marienburg right after. And I guess we can upgrade this as well. Nice. Alright. Yeah. I think we will then get the big old fight against the Chaos Dwarves. It's not the final battle of the campaign, but it is sort of a nice potentially final battle for the long victory. So there is that. Also, Wei Jin. This looks like something that should be auto-resolvable. The Motherland stance. Pyrrhic victory. Oh, right. Oh. We'll need Beletta the Defender to do it anyway. Do you need to channel? You know what? Yeah, break the siege. We'll have Beletta the Defender attack next turn. Break siege, and we will go into channeling stance. Instead, there is a landmark here, and a fairly decent one at that, though it'll probably take a long time to grow the place. You can auto-resolve this now. And I wonder, is Village dead, or is he actually around? Yeah, they're dead. Okay, so I guess Village's main stack was in fact destroyed by the by Miao Ying's main stack, which is impressive. Hopefully she can actually hit the rats back, considering they're causing absolute havoc right now. Don't collect the... Oh. It doesn't really matter. Wait. We still get the bonus growth in the gates. Oh, I gotta remember, I gotta double check if I did that for the gates in my Imric campaign now. Because I don't know if I did. But it is free bonus growth, so why not? I always forget what I would get here. Chance of Plague spreading here, recruit rank, this is all not useful to us. Casualty punishment rate to some degree useful, I guess. Purchase steps won't be of any kind of use here. I guess awaken the land for faster construction. If we should keep the place, though frankly I don't think that we will. Anyway, Tzarina Katarin, 'tis time. You are going to declare war on these guys, Goldtooth. We will join your war against the servants of the Conclave for money. I guess we do need money after all, since we've run out. And, well, we ran out last turn. And we're gonna level up before we go. And just like Tamarkan, this is liable to actually be a proper fight, so we may as well treat it as such. Now, Tzarina Katarin, what are you missing? You're at level 39, so you are very tight on points. Let's get you Ursun's protection, because there's a lot of ranged enemies, and a bunch of fire glaives firing on your sled could potentially be a danger to you. You are going to grab Wild Eye and then go into Blessing Discs afterwards, and then the Golden Knight. We don't really need Learn from the Best yet, although funnily enough, we might actually soon get some use out of it since we're going to retrofit the army slightly. Not that it's in heavy need of it or anything. Let's get you to... You know what, let's get you Woundmaker. You're already so tanky that I think the damage will give us more mileage. Motherland stance, and... let's see if they'll be willing to fight. Ow. Well, let's find out. I have to go around like this, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. And Valiant defeat, that's what I like to see. It's ice versus fire, and that's a good thing. Go.
We must prevail! The happiness of all mankind is the duty of every Kislevite!
Alright, here we go. You guys asked in the comments that we get a nice big fight going against Tzarina Grund and the Servants of the Conclave, so we've begun here. Tzarina Katarin's gonna start moving in with her sled and annoying the enemy as she does, and fire glaives or not, they're just not going to physically be able to stop her. And on top of that, while the rest of our army moves in, she can essentially bound between the enemy Infernal Guard with fire glaives and prevent them from firing. Out here, there's a Lamassu that has landed upon our sort of a little single entity command squad. Well, missing Tzarina Katarin herself, of course, but, well, let's say the Golden Knights support heroes. And we are going to try to work on taking out that Lamassu as quickly as possible because of that anti-magic aura that they have, which is quite annoying. And I assume it does work, just out of curiosity. Yeah, so the Golden Knight has in fact lost the magical damage. I was wondering whether the Totem of Ursus and the silence that it offers would prevent the aura, the anti-magic aura, of the Lamassu from activating, but apparently not the case. Oh well, not a big deal. Tzarina Katarin getting a little bit of work in on some units of Kadai Fireborn who are looking pretty cool. Too bad there's no, like, no special steam effect when the when fire units sort of attack Tzarina Katarin. But oh well, not a big deal. She's not going to do too much damage to them because she's more of an anti-infantry sort of lord on her sled, and will instead get a few charges in and continue annoying the fire glaives to there. Now keep in mind that this is just the first army and certainly not the main stack, as Gorth the Cruel himself will lead an absolutely ludicrous number of elite units from Tzarina Grund towards us, and we just wanted to make sure that we wipe out this first stack before the second stack arrives. And it's going reasonably well. Do have to keep in mind, however, that the... oh wow, look at those 4 Centaur renders very slowly attempting to make it out of the blob there. Have to keep in mind that this is still a Chaos Dwarf army, and they do take quite a while to bring down, being tanky and whatnot. So we're still having to work on it. Tzarina Katarin up to 63 kills. Not a crazy amount as yet, but 51k damage, so she is still certainly dishing out the damage, and it's going to be a lot more than anybody else has dealt. Plus, the big chances for damage are coming with all of those stacks on the way. Should be a fun time. Alright, and we're still looking pretty good in the center. I believe the Lamassu is out. We are fighting Kadai Fireborn now, while Tzarina Katarin moves around in the background and starts getting ready to move towards the enemy's main stack. The enemies are attempting to escape, but the heavy war sleds are gunning them down as they do, and should be fairly effective at getting things, or chasing things like Bull Centaur renders down. And then the same thing goes for the Tzarina's Fang and Jagatai Khan, our Snow Leopards, and Winged Hussars who are still working together. Did you just send that Lord flying? Alright, that was pretty good. And the Snow Leopards seem to be very effective against the Bull Centaur renders, which is kind of impressive. They're a very strong unit, after all. Anyway, the first army is pretty much destroyed, and Tzarina Katarin has sighted a big old blob to get to work on, so she's going to charge right on through as many of them as she can, and bog them down a little bit. Find the ideal target, and then pop off a nice blizzard. Alright, and then charge right back through this. This is too big. Oh my lord of an enemy blob. And hey, she actually knocks a bunch of them towards the blizzard. And damn, I don't think any of our other cavalry units are going to be able to get quite as much air on enemies as Tzarina Katarin's sled will. And as usual, she's being a complete menace. And once again, there's another aspect to her running around like this. It's not just the fact that she's causing massive damage. She's also disrupting the enemy formation and forcing sort of micro-engagements between the enemy and her, which means that the enemy units are sort of forced to attempt to attack her rather than head towards our army, which is giving us more time to deploy our other units and to destroy the remnants of the first stack, plus whatever fast movers moved away from the second stack and attempted to charge forth, like these Bull Centaur renders, which are being pin-cushioned by our Ice Guard, and the Snow Kitties, which are ripping them apart as well. Even though they have fairly decent numbers, they have to deal with the Golden Knight and the Patriarch reducing their melee attacks with that Taur's Battle Hymn. And 21 melee attack is just not sufficient to deal with the elites there. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good. The bounce power has in fact shifted in our favor, but more elites are on the way. Namely, we got some hell cannons moving towards us, and they've just gotten in range of our Ice Guard line. We're going to have to deal with them. That said, Tzarina Katarin's up to 327 kills and over 200,000 damage from all this. The more enemy units are moving in, and we're going to have to reposition ourselves so we don't get gunned down by the... that we don't get gunned down by the enemy fireglaves. And another charge through that big old mass of Chaos Dwarfs, though the enemy Hell Cannons have drawn a bead and are getting a few nice shots into our Ice Guard. 2 shots from 2 Hell Cannons, and Tzarina's Frozen Arrows lose about half of their HP, though not quite half of their number. But the volleys will keep on coming, so we're going to have to back off over here to the cliffside and just try to get out of the range of those darn Hell Cannons. And we've got a Burning Wrath coming in from the enemy lord as well, and I do believe there's a Death Shrieker that should be on the field shortly as well, together with an Iron Demon. We're going to have to head Tzarina Katarin away from annoying this enemy blob out here and instead head her towards the Hell Cannons instead, and got to silence them as they've switched targets now and are attacking another unit of Ice Guard, having heavily damaged the first. Probably should have sent the Snow Leopards and the single entities out here to deal with the Hell Cannons rather, a little bit quicker. Gonna drop a spell on them as well, another Tempest just for them specifically. And we'll hope that this does sufficient damage to make sure that at least the artillery pieces are destroyed or the crew is gone. I don't know. No. And it looks like the artillery piece is still firing, and oh wow, that actually didn't do all that much damage to the crew. Huh, I guess they're sufficiently, well, I was about to say sufficiently armored, but I guess just generally not enough. That said, Tzarina Katarin is herself more or less fine, but it does mean we're going to have to reposition these guys to move towards those Hell Cannons before the enemy gets in range. And the Golden Knight was having such a fun time sort of being in the main line and killing Chaos Dwarf after Chaos Dwarf. But we're going to have to clear a path for these guys to get out of here and head towards those flame cannons. Oh wow, and the mass of the sled is enough to actually push the flame cannons, or hell cannons, around. I gotta stop saying flame cannons. Alright, and we can help these guys move out by charging Tzarina Katarin in through the blob, once again completely unstoppable. And while I do love the Frostworms, this isn't something the Frostworms can do. They, while they do have mass, they don't have the, I guess they don't have the speed or the acceleration to do this kind of thing. At least not nearly as well. Plus, since we have Blood of the Defender on the Frostworm and other Frostworms available, the whole unique aspect of the sled. is allowing us to do a little bit more with it. Anyway, bounce power is still at about 70% in our favor, and the enemy has finally reached our line. The Kislevite warriors still with us, as well as the Zargard fighting against the enemy Ironsworn, Chaos Dwarf warriors, etc., etc., as they move on in. In the background, we are doing a little bit of chase work as the Winged Hussars are trying to destroy any enemy units that run, and the same thing goes for the Heavy War Sleds. It does mean that they're not participating in the main line action, but all of these units of Infernal Ironsworn and Fireglaves here, they weren't yet routing. They were remnants of the units that Tzarina Katarin badly beat up while she was moving in through the blob with her sled. And then these sleds decided to clean them up and make sure that they routed and is now chasing them down. Tzarina Katarin's still annoying this big old blob and preventing them from moving towards our main line. Looks like a Kadai destroyer is heading towards us, but we can put its fire out with our ice arrows. And it is going to get at least one very nice hit. It's still a very cool looking unit. Very nice hit into our Zargard and Kislevite warriors, but will succumb to the concentrated fire of all 4 Ice Guard units. And down it goes, armor empty of fire, crushing a few units below it. It's still very cool death animation, and I love the empty sort of armor that it leaves behind. Alright, how are we doing out here? The Zargard and the Kislevite warriors still holding. Some Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses decided to move on into melee to help the Infernal Guard out. Infernal Ironsworn specifically. We can watch the melee a little bit, because we've seen plenty of the sled work from Tzarina Katarin. Although, by the looks of it, the Infernal Guard won't be in here for too much longer, as the enemy army will, in fact, shatter and be destroyed. Our single entities here, including the Snow Leopards, which had to be moved together with the Golden Knight in order to destroy those Hell Cannons, look like they were more than enough. And we're going to have to do quite a bit of chase work this time around. Fortunately, this particular army is fairly good at it. Tzarina Katarin's great at chasing, and of course our Heavy War Sleds should be able to run down the relatively slow Chaos Dwarfs in decent time. And same with the Winged Hussars, who have racked up a pretty solid 30k damage and 150 kills throughout the battle. A very nice fight. Alrighty, there we go, and I think that proves once and for all definitively that the sled is better than the Frostworm, or at the very least in field battles it's definitive. In siege battles there's not a lot of room to maneuver, but Tzarina Katarin getting nearly 1,000 kills, 323,000 damage, as well against a Chaos Dwarf stack, not like a Skaven faction or something like that. 323 kills, 3,000 damage rather, is extremely nice. Huh. I'm willing to bet that her damage delta's gold value at 25k is probably more or close to than the rest of the army combined. But anyway, very nice. Also, gotta be impressed with our Snow Leopards. They actually outdamaged the Heavy War Sleds, hunting enemies down. They actually ripped through those Bull Centaur renders, which I found very surprising, in the sense that the Bull Centaur renders are a very strong unit, but at mincing infantry. And they in turn got minced by Tzarina's Fang and Jagatai Khan quite nicely. Very happy with you two. Well done, and yeah, damn great work from Tzarina Katarin, just running over all those enemies, completely unstoppable by 2 full stacks coming in as reinforcements. Anyway, can we reach the place to knock it out? Glittering scales? Yeah, not a bad find. Wait. There's a few defenders left, but if we do this, we can auto-resolve the remnants. Like so. And effectively no damage, and then heal ourselves up and take Jarna Grund. Very, very nice. Occupy the place, why not? We need to be tier 5 to build the Great Temple of Hashut, but that's a pretty solid find. And oh, I was not expecting that. We got Ice Guard here, or the building that lets us build them. We don't necessarily want Tzarina Katarin to sit here for too many turns, but we can get another lord out and just use that lord to recruit her retrofit. Huh, what else did we have here? We have this Winged Lancer building. I was hoping... is it going to still take 2 turns? 3 turns to build the Winged Lancers? You gotta be kidding me. Man, these guys have been... the Winged Hussars have been around so long. I was hoping to replace them with a couple of units of Griffin Legion and then just name them the Winged Hussars, but might take too long here. Takes 5 turns to upgrade this. It would be faster to just global recruit them, which we could do. I was gonna have a unit ferry some stuff over, but I think we could just do this like this, which is solid. Anyway, we then won't need the Royal Guard barracks. We'll keep, I guess, the ice training fields, keep the roads, and I guess delete the Oblast Stallion as well. We'll get a lord in here next turn to recruit stuff, because they'll probably have to recruit in the settlement. Not that Tzarina Katarin... wait, can she heal outside the settlement? Yeah, she still can, and she can channel at that. Do we have anybody who's good to be a recruiter? Protector of the Motherland, Experience, Weapon Strength, Master of Beasts, and Criminal Officer. None of these are particularly what I want. Oh, well, I guess we'll just use this Loyal Sentinel here. Why not? You here, you can be another recruiter. So many recruiters, but they're necessary. You are going to go for this and then get Leader of Renown simply because stuff still costs money. Then... and we actually ran out of money in the last turn. And not the Vodka Distiller, but the Veteran Warrior plus the, if I can find it in here, not the Servant, not the Ritual Enforcer, but the Nomad Riding Master. Alright, and I believe those are the only things we need to increase recruit rank, unless I'm mistaken. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, you can build Ice Guard. Okay, what kind of Ice Guard do we want? We want to replace these 2 Kislevied warriors, though they have been around with us for a long time. That's 1-2 units. Not that I really expect anything else to really challenge Tzarina Katarin's army, as we've clearly seen. I think I would have preferred the glaive variant of Ice Guard, but we can use the sword variant to fight. Use their swords. It'll take 3 turns to recruit them here, not at crazy expense. These 2 will be replaced, so that we'll have 6. And then I guess we'll want to build 2 Griffin Legion, and just because we can, essentially. Which will take 5 turns, but, well, whatever. And 10,000 gold, but similarly, whatever. We can make it back, I'm willing to. Oh, wow, what the heck? Oh, right, the Warbear Riders have the reduction. I was like, why did they cost 2,000 and Griffin Legion cost 5,000? In fact, in terms of upkeep, the Griffin Legion are considerably more than the Warbear Riders, which is also a little bit surprising. I'm pretty sure if we sent a Warbear Rider unit at a Griffin Legion unit, it would rip them apart. That's kind of interesting. Seems like a big difference. Well, either way, we'll make some use of them. Vladimir Mikheyev, you are next in terms of moving. And we are sending you to the Silver Tower of Sorcerers, but since you are damaged, and since we're suffering attrition here, we will need to move in camp stance. So, go like this, and Sorka Gospodar, go right to there. I wonder if you'll be able to... nah, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, maybe. Hard to say. I gotta stay beside this guy, though, just in case we get attacked by an army that we can't see. Alright, that looks good to me. Who's up next? Madorna Zinov, you have your stuff now. And the question you must answer is, where do you go? I mean, assuming that we're not going to get bogged down in the or the Darklands, rather, you can start heading towards Kappelberg here, simply because, well, we still need to destroy it, and that's part of our win condition. Kind of inescapable at this point. Gotta try to get you a proper fight, though, as your debut battle. You are going to wait here. And the 2 of you will recruit for Beledna the Defender, who will be ready to move onto the field shortly. Irogni, you and Beledna are waiting as well. And is there anybody else? I think just the Tech Thieves, right? Stalton, oh, right. I forgot about you. You are going to do this. I'm hopeful that these guys will attempt to sally out rather than force us into a siege. We can certainly fight the siege, but because it has a garrison tower, that'll mean that it'll be a broken battle. So I'm certainly willing to wait, and it's not like Astalton is in a hurry to go anywhere. We got... Who are you? Oh, right. You've got the Warbearer Riders ready for Uragni. And speaking of Uragni, wait.
It's immense, my power.
We need to get him the second unit of Brothers of Tor, but I'm not entirely sure how many more turns. Somebody who's in our territory. Well, oh, we can't check because we've recruited them all. Okay, okay. I guess we'll know when we know. You, recruiter, move this way. And you were the last... Other than the tech thieves. Alright, tech thieves. Guess what it's time for? It's tech thievery time. I spoiled it. Alright, success for you. One more time to Kappelberg. Wait, actually level. Steel tech, and level. Worked. And attack, and you failed anyway. I invested too much time in that. Alright, another hey, what are you guys doing? Stop failing. Hopefully these guys aren't hating us for doing this to Lorelorn. No, they don't seem to care about Lorelorn. Alright, well that's just swell. It's just swell that they don't care for Lorelorn. We don't care for Lorelorn either. Alright, and Miusa Teraskovna. Maybe you can actually succeed where the others have failed? Yes, everybody failed but you. Well done. And you have steel tech maxed out. Alright. I guess you can go into assault units. So this doesn't really... Oh, wait, actually, no. Go into Blessing of Knowledge because you actually have that success chance. What's our steel tech at? 423, or research rate at 423. Not horrible, not amazing. You can have... I know, Purger, doesn't really matter. And that's it. Alright, now it's time for building. Yet again. Although, once again, not a lot of buildings need to be built, so we're okay. Southern Oblast, let's get that market up to max, and yeah, as I said, we are liable to run out of money this time around. Now, you have the Manor of the Ice Queen, so we just choose two of these that we want to build, and I think, by the looks of it, we have enough Ice Guard now, so we can go Eerie Woods, and we can go the Animal Den, because it also produces furs. Granted, we don't actually have a lot of trading, because the... I know, Kislev isn't a very trade-focused faction at only 17k compared to our 82k money-making. But that's fine. I actually appreciate that, or like it that way in this particular case, since Imric, being the High Elf faction, is a trade-centric faction, so we can get a sort of different looks at them, and where they'll both be at roughly the same time in their turns. We get a farmstead here. Blood marshes. At least the infrastructure buildings are all relatively cheap. I didn't mean relatively, because we are once again running out of cash, and by the looks of it, we'll run out before we build everything, but oh well. I suppose I should have done Diplo first, just in case there were options there, but, well, too late. Town for you, and no town for you. Eastern Steppes, let's go for a town here, and a farm there. Town here, town there. Your town, their town. Farmstead, Ostland, yes to the market, and Cold Myers. Alright, we're ready to upgrade you now. Would agree. Market here, and... Nope, Herb Gatherer's Camp first, because I don't believe we actually have that particular trade good. And you know what? I guess you're fated to build the farmstead. Huh, and it looks like we had effectively just enough money. Do we want to collect income here? I mean, by the looks of it, it'll probably be positive, so that'll be fine. Alright, let's check what's going on here. Estalia is alive? Okay, they gotta have revived by rebels. There's no way that their faction has survived this long. Absolutely no way. They're willing to give us a lot of money for a trade agreement. They'll probably die next turn, so why not? It's free money. That genuinely shocked me. Whoa, what the heck? The followers of Arcan are fighting the pirates of Sartosa. That's kind of curious. Everybody wants to be friends because nobody wants to be destroyed by us.
It is chat.
Which is kind of funny. And I guess we could trade with... Just do it. I mean, Henry won't like it, but what do we care? It's not like Cetra's any more of a threat to us than anybody else. Alright, Tzarina Katarin, you are go. Oh, I don't know why I went to Tzarina Katarin, because that should be the end turn. Wait. How close were we to building that ogre outpost? I forgot where I built it. I think it was Amble Peak. No, Vale of Titans. 2 more turns. Okay, I want to see if we have... Oh, no, we need to... We needed to go to tier 2 anyway to get access to camp units. We only have access to garbage right now. Presuming that we do get access to... Or get access to camp units in general. End turn. Alright, Goldtooth, Strength... Oh, Goldtooth, Strength rank 3. That's nice. You want us to join war against the Overlords of Zharduk. I think you can take care of him. We'll probably... Oh, and he is going to take the... Oh, damn, okay. Well, we're going to have to trade him for this province, for the rest of this province. 'Tis inescapable. But it's okay, there's a lot of stuff in the Badlands, and I'm sure we can auto-resolve a few places until Goldtooth is willing to, hey, take it an A. Prince Siggy will indeed attack us. Well, if this is to be a final episode, then we're certainly getting tons and tons of fights. We'll see what the engagement and the stuff is like to determine it. We will most definitely fight this. Looks like fun. Go.
By bullet, by spear, or by axe. No matter your weapon, use it well, for failure does not warrant second chances.
I still find it hilarious that he says by bullet, by spear, or by axe, considering he has neither gun nor spear. He does have an axe, but certainly no gun. Anyway, here we go. I'm pretty excited for this particular fight, as I imagine it should be a pretty tough one. And there's a pretty massive disparity in troop quality, as our entire army is made up of pretty much only tier 2 troops, and obviously the steppe archers are pretty much the second worst unit in this particular Kislevite roster. At the very least on the face of it, in terms of the capability of dealing damage and stuff, but still very, very useful for doing things like this and leading Chaos Knights away. And this unit is a tier 4, and we technically only need a single Kossovite archer to lead them away. I guess the only unfortunate aspect there is that, once again, it does seem that the archers became weaker when they got their quote-unquote upgraded sort of firing capabilities. Their anti-infantry arrows, it really should be a toggle and not a guarantee, since they lose half of their armor-piercing damage in favor of gaining a little bit of anti-infantry. It seems weird. I feel like it was an oversight or something, but anyway. Anyway, here we go. The enemy Chaos Knights move in to promptly start taking shot after shot from the Ixina ambushers and our units of Little Groms. That said, they are shielded and they're very heavily armored, and even with the armor-piercing damage of the Ixina ambushers, they are still taking a long time to go down. Well, some armor-piercing damage. Frankly, the Ixina ambushers don't have that much. Most of their direct damage is the regular missile damage rather than armor-piercing, which explains why it takes so long to bring down those Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights make it in, but the Wolfheart's Ixina ambushers should be able to hold the line, especially with stand your ground up. Their melee defenses bumped up to 18-9, which is pretty solid. And we're even going to send in one of the Little Groms to sort of anchor their line in melee, while we continue firing upon the rest of the enemy. I'm going to get a Spirit Leech going down on the enemy hero here, Exalted Hero on a chariot, a Gorby's chariot. Slowed it down for a little bit and heavily damaged it with our Ixina ambushers and Spirit Leech, which will force him to turn and attempt to run away in terror. Down he goes and down goes his Gorbies. Unfortunately for us, Demonettes and Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh with Hell Scourges have made their way in, and the enemy certainly should have superior melee capabilities to us. We're going to get that Assault of Stone down to heavily damage, well, probably not the Chaos Warriors or Chosen so much, but at the very least heavily damage those Demonettes. Once again, we're using the tanky artillery pieces as sort of main lines, are part of the main lines, and they're doing a fairly decent job at keeping these guys back, though it is costing them a little bit of damage. We do pop the ability, the ward ability from our Hag Witch, or one of our Hag Witches, I should say, in order to give a little bit of extra ward save to our artillery. Hybrid artillery. Anyway, enemy Chosen have now made it in, and yeah, tier 4 Chosen versus Akshina Ambushers in melee will definitely go the way of the Chosen, so we need to be careful about the way that we handle this. We're gonna have to back off one of our artillery pieces, who have now taken about 60% of their damage, but at the cost of a decent amount of the enemy units. The bounce power is now in our favor, though our main line, since it has connected with the enemy, is starting to take quite a bit of damage. You have to remember that this army was originally meant to be retrofitted with 2 units of Steppe Archers and 2 units of Akshina Ambushers replaced by Ice Guard to act as both the main melee line rather than forcing the Akshina Ambushers, and to combine the Stagger Shot with the Frostbite of the Ice Guard and increase the amount of slow upon the enemies massively. We haven't had the chance to yet, as we have to prioritize recruitment of Ice Guard for Tzarina Katarin and for Beledna the Defender, because those are critical to their sort of army compositions, and these guys have been like this for a while now, so... Anyway, another unit of Chaos Knights have managed to get to us, but they were damaged after, well, at least somewhat damaged, after chasing the Kosovoid archers around all the way like this, and they get slowed down and pin-cushioned before these ones can really achieve too much of anything. Though they do look fantastic, they won't look fantastic for much more, as they are forced to shatter, and a few more shots to their backs should bring most of their number down. Sigvald is still fighting as well, and we're just using him, or we're just using our Akshina Ambushers to distract him. He does have 51 kills to his name, but it's not like our Lord could actually kill him in melee. He could potentially kite him around. Well, actually, could he? Actually, out of curiosity. Sigvald, 92 speed, and our Lord on his steed has 98 speed. Ooh, iffy. Definitely iffy. If a single slowdown spell is used, the Sigvald would probably be able to catch our Lord on foot, and I certainly, in my Archaon campaign, stacked speed on Sigvald, so he would run even faster than this, just like hilariously fast. Anyway, had to use our Lord briefly to keep those Chosen back, even though the halberds are anti-large and did heavy damage to our Lord, but at least it allowed our Akshina Ambushers a little bit longer of firing. Enemy uses a Fascination on our Wolfhearts, which forces them out of control and into the melee, but we needed somebody to hold the melee line. Anyway, out here another Chosen unit is going after another one of our Akshina Ambushers, but we backed these guys off in such a way that it forced the Chosen to turn, and does take a lot of shots to the back as well, which I'm sure they didn't appreciate all that much. Balance of power remains at about 70% in our favor, but it's still quite close. Gonna get a brief charge in on the Chosen with halberds, just to slow them down and allow our units to do a little bit more damage. At this point, we're having to use the Kosovoid archers to sort of charge in and act periodically as melee units. Of course, they would get obliterated if they were to do it for too long, but it is needed because our Akshina Ambushers are the ones that actually dish out damage in this particular fight. Doggos have arrived over on the flanks. We're going to charge on into them as well to force them to rout. I do believe, well, they are relatively low in HP. And plus, we're basically out of ammunition on most of our Steppe Archers anyway, so it is necessary to make use of them in melee as well. Not just to chase enemies down, since the Akshina Ambushers are struggling in melee. That said, this is giving us an absolutely glorious battle, and we do have to work for our win, and win we do, as the balance of power at last shifts to 100% in our favor, and since the enemy army was pretty much destroyed, Sigvald will shatter. We're lucky that he wasn't unbreakable, because he'd be pretty tough to bring down. A very, very close battle. I suspect this is going to be a Pyrrhic victory. We did manage to keep all of our units alive, but just barely, as we can see. Since we had to use both of the Wolfhearts as melee, due to the lack of the Ice Guard for now, these guys are down to 11 troops and 470 HP, and these guys aren't much stronger either, or much better, in terms of staying alive. Interestingly, it looks like the little Groms do fairly decent damage to Sigvald, but you gotta remember this is while he is running... Oh, my lord. Sigvald running. He's at it again. The little Groms do quite a bit of damage. He's just like, oh, we've lost, I'm out of here. This never fails to make me laugh. It's hilarious. I forgot where I was going with what I was saying. He's running in a straight line, so he's not dodging the shots from the little Groms, which explains why he was actually taking a decent amount of damage. But anyway. Ooh, there we go. Very nice. Certainly a tough fight for these guys. Hardly surprising, mind you, as we had very little veterancy on the newly minted Kshina ambushers and the relative lack of damage, generally speaking, on the Kossovite archers, but they still proved very handy here, and we still managed to carry the day. If getting rather close to being overrun. Good job to Siggy for dishing out plenty of damage and getting 109 kills. Him killing surprisingly quickly with that sword in melee combat, so good job there, and I still laugh at him running away. Anyway, we have no choice, I think, but to... Ooh, that's a nice amount of cash, but we must heal up because we have to attack, and we're not healing because we're not in camp. You know what? I probably should have done in camp stance rather than Motherland stance. Yeah, I just really don't see that much use for Motherland stance. Even when you know you're going to get attacked, like in this situation, if we were in camp, then over the end turn we would have healed post the defense. Really, the only good, it seems, for Motherland stance is if you're in your own settlement and you're sitting there in that settlement and defending. And I feel like that's super rare that you get any use out of it. A, it'll only be useful for an army. And if you only have like a couple of units, it's barely useful at all. And if you have a full stack, it's just a lot less likely that an enemy will attack you in the first place. So, yeah, I feel like that one warrants a redesign. Anyway, heal up.
Kislev endures.
And a great fight for you, sir. Or from you, whatever. It was for you and then it was from you. Lupio, you still live, though not for much longer, so we're not going to bother with the relationship thing. And hey, what do we have here? Plus 50 relations with the Golden Order. Great. During routine patrols, our Lancers discovered... Oh, right, we already had that one. Lying half dead. Blah, 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 blah. Send word to her family. And Igor Talichev, Pride Assassin. Post-battle chance of stealing magical item and physical resistance for you. I certainly needed it. And hey, would you look at that? Another full stack belonging to these guys. Looks like Mr. Siggy has backed off away from the Fortress of the Damned, and by the looks of it, Morkar here is going to attack the Serpent Jetty. Frankly, I don't think you are going to survive this. Wait. Was Serpent Jetty one of the... No, it's not one of the broken settlements, meaning you will be able to land, eh? We'll have to figure out how do we want to deal with that. Frankly, we don't care if this guy dies. I more so care about the actual settlement. Also, Conquata. These guys did not, in fact, sally out. And frankly, the siege towers aren't actually particularly useful to us. We're better off knocking holes in the enemy walls. Well, then maybe we will attack them. But in the meantime, what we need to do is move towards Brass Keep. And where did that other full stack go? Tech Thief. Move out here just to see if we can't spot the other full stack. No, I don't see it. Oh, now you're out of range. Oh, just wanted to do a little bit of scouting. But either way, you're going to go right here beside Bechofen. And, in fact, just go within its zone of control just in case. And then on to Kappelberg. If their full stack is still alive and hasn't in fact been killed off by Karl somewhere. Yeah. Wait, no, this is Reichland. Can't tell. I'm not sure. I don't know whether it's still alive or whether it isn't. Recruiter Talichev, you cannot reach Middenstag. Damn. A bit of a shame. We'll move a stank in near it, but also in friendly territory. Like so, and then we'll use Recruiter Talichev to take Middenstag next turn, while we push a Stankia towards Brass Keep. Like so. Alrighty, Musa Teraskovna. Well, okay, yeah, we'll do that stuff later. Tzarina Katarin. Let's start with you instead. I guess we need to move out here to take the Falls of Doom. So I mean, it's not like these guys can recover, but we don't have anybody else to send for this. Yeah. Alright, so take the Falls of Doom and then we'll move back southward afterwards and probably trade these guys a little something for the Veil of Woe to complete the territory. And take this. Occupy it, and the servants of the Conclave should be destroyed.
Now
Occupy.
and forever.
And there we go. No servants of the Conclave anymore. Do we need the palisade here? Just keep it, I guess. I mean, then again, the Falls of Doom is rather far. They'd have to go through all of this, and it would be better to build at the Vale of Woe, so no, I lied. Destroy it. And go for the Market Square, and go for the Obsidian, and we'll figure out what else we need to build afterwards. Vladimir Mikheyev, you and Sorka Gospodar. Now, you actually do have Siege Attacker, but Sorka doesn't, so there wasn't actually any point in... No, actually, you can reach it anyway. But, will the game let you actually fight it, or do it? It will, surprisingly. Oh, well, that's nice. You're actually really needed southward to fight Sigvald's armies. These are probably just the beginnings of his armies as he's slowly starting to send them our way from wherever he was. And, ooh, looks like the Cornates are arriving as well. We need more armies. Beledna the defense. Okay, yeah, you know what? It's time to get Beledna's army up there and doing stuff. So, we're gonna send Beledna one more time to Weijin. Doesn't matter what stance, I guess. Use her to allow Uragni to close. And, I don't know. Let's go in camp stance. Like so. Is this auto-resolvable? By the looks of it is. Looks like nobody will die. Wait, are you able to reinforce? Not this turn, next turn. Okay. Well, you have to close the distance with the Uragni anyway. Just double check that you can. We should still be able to heal up here nicely, so it shouldn't make much of a difference.
Winter fights with us today.
And just double check. You know, I'm gonna save this because I don't trust the auto-resolve. It's saying casualties high. Sometimes when it says that, it'll actually did this work? Sometimes when it does that, it actually kills off your own troops, so... No, it doesn't. Alright, not this time around. Well, that one wasn't worth fighting. Let's be real here. Then Uragni, are you able to... go into your stance, and then... I wonder how much we'll heal. Wait, go into encamp, and then go here. And take these guys. Oh, 22. Wait, was I gonna... Oh, right. The Kossars. The Kossars aren't supposed to be in here. Like so, there we go. Now we just wait for the 19th or 20th unit, rather, which is going to be that Oath Brother of Tor, and we'll have 6 Warbearer Riders and then just a ton of Acolytes of Ursun. I might replace one of them with a Cathayan War Drum, assuming that we can actually get one, and just to get them a little bit of extra armor. Alright, we need 26 nearly there with the northern provinces, and we are there with the western provinces. Yes, good. Alright, Beledna.
I am the storm.
We are going to reset your skills. And then we're going to get your army up and running over where we're going to defend Norska. Alright. Now that Uragni has a full stack, he certainly doesn't need you here. You are going to just wait, actually. Well, I guess I could follow Uragni around for a little while and grab a few territories, just so that Uragni doesn't waste turns. Victor Zamvin, I believe you have a date with approximately 8 billion rats. Well, I gotta start somewhere. They just do them one by one. Go to Mingzhu. Alright. Alright, so a little speed dating for Victor Zamvin with the Skaven there. And his armored Kossars. Oh, I was gonna get you a war drum as well, wasn't I? Wait, I was gonna get something else in here. I was gonna get you some more artillery, potentially. There's a lot of potential here. We don't really need the Kossars, or we could just replace, like, 2 of them with Streltsy. It feels like the Streltsy fit better than the armored Kossars do. Although they have been around with us for a very long time. I always feel bad, you know, when we had an army around for a very long time, and yeah. Now the question is, well, now we have to go after Siggy. I was hoping to hit the Fortress of the Dam, but I think it's not possible. I don't even know if we can auto-resolve this, because we're about to find out. And no one will die, but I still don't trust the auto-resolve. Quick save. Let's face it, the Kislev auto-resolve has screwed us so many times that it's not worth trusting. 2 units lost, but we're good. And Siggy is down. He does have a great defeat rate, though. Now, you can't enter any stances, so you'll have to heal up next turn. I imagine Morcar will actually try to go to the Fortress of the Damned, because he knows we're coming for it. Yeah. Also, you were able to auto-resolve as well, were you not? I mean, yeah, this is garbage. Oh, for the one time I didn't save. Bloody... Oh, why? Game. Oh, at least it gave me a laugh, but damn. That's a shame. That's a shame. You're gonna have to use global recruitment to get that stupid sled back. At least it's a light war sled, meaning it comes back in one round. Oh, it was a high ranking one too. The one time Ah, okay, well, at least my amusement is palpable. A recruiter Gaspar, you're sitting there and living or dying, doesn't really matter. Recruiter Gajovich, you're gonna take R now, and Scout Yozhin, I think you're not actually needed here anymore, so what we'll do with you, colonize, what we'll do with you is we'll send you out to sea. We need to establish essentially a perimeter of scouts to see where the enemies are coming from. Unfortunately, you're liable to land a troll fjord. You know, delete the stud farm. Maybe we can build defenses in one turn. Maybe we can't, but we do need armies on the way. And the armies on the way will be thus. You... Okay, you have leader over now, and you need to move to draft master. I guess get our disciplinarian, doesn't really matter.
No other may wield it.
And these will be part of Beledna's army, but you still need to go to Kislev to get her the rest of her stuff.
I switch.
Oh, she's gonna need a... well... Okay, we'll see. Wait, what can you recruit here? Okay, so we got, let's say, 4 Ice Guard with glaives and 3 Ice Guard with swords. We'll probably need a couple little Groms. We can't build them immediately, though, but you could build them for us. And just to sort of force enemies to move towards Beledna's army. And we could do maybe a couple of war sleds, just a couple, don't worry guys, it's not all war sleds. And here, or, wait. We could give her a couple Griffin Legion, just for fun. Not that she needs them, but... Let's do a couple Griffin Legion. I haven't actually made the count of how many units here. Let's actually do the count, because I'll get confused, I don't know about you guys. So... You have 1, 2, 3... Okay, so it's 4 units. So added 3, we'll be at 16. Meaning we'll have room for 4. 1, 2, 3... Okay, that worked out suspiciously perfectly. It's not as many Ice Guard as I perhaps would have liked, but... I do feel like we can enjoy a few more Griffin Legion units. I do still want to build an army based around them, but, well, you know... I gotta recruit in many places. Okay, I'm just gonna keep ignoring this for a little while. I'm just really hoping that a full stack arrives, so we're not really doing anything. We could very much fight. I'll think about it. Let's see what else we got this turn, and then we'll figure it out. Recruiter Eisenev, you were supposed to head to Erengrad, and to Erengrad you shall go. These darn plagues are still spreading, but, well, used to it by now. Velasi, you're heading back to Marienburg. And we could send you around to probably take Blackstone Post, but then, I don't know, maybe we just leave Bretonnia in complete shambles. It's not like we really care about the territory or anything. And our money per turn is still growing. Alright, let's get back to tech thievery. It's gonna be a heck of a long episode, but, well, hardly surprising since we're attempting to achieve that long victory and we're getting plenty of good fights. It is a bit of a shame that the interest in this campaign has dropped, because I still think we're getting very good fights despite the strength of our faction at this point in time. And it's all about the really good fights. Alright, Tech Thief good, and Tech Thief good. You guys are also seeing a lot of admin in this particular episode, but it's due to the length of the episodes, as obviously, or episode, as usually, normally I would be doing this admin between the episodes rather than during. You can go here, I guess. Alright, and what do we have here? Construction time reduction, yes. Definitely construction time reduction. Oh, we have somebody else leveled up, presumably. I guess to keep leveling. And yes, Pioneer. And oh, we got another one. Where's the other one? Sent this guy over here because he was helping with the recruitment. Oh, you know what? We should. They're fine. Wait, who has a thing? There's a question mark. Oh, it's right. Oh, it was covered by this, or it looked like it was part of it, guys. Don't blame me. I want to send you to somewhere where you can actually make us some cash. You know what, I probably should have sent you here. Alright, let's put you here, let's put you, I don't know, here, here, and here. Something like that. Not super relevant either way. Alright, next up we got Diplo to do. Astalia is still alive, and actually we don't have much in the way of Diplo. Looks like Exiles of Nehek are unfortunately being overrun. It's kind of looking like we're going to be like the main, maybe not the only power left on the, in the world, but like, out of the Order tide, most of the others are getting overrun. I mean, just completely overrun everywhere, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, Crackadrak, I didn't build the taverns here, and that was most definitely my mistake. I should have done that earlier. We will... Oh, we don't have the Manor of the Ice Queen here. Let's build that. I gotta remember that those actually exist. Oh, wait. We can build it, but maybe not right now, because we need way too much devotion for it. So instead, I guess just build another Eerie Woods. And with all the other Order factions dying, it's not like we'll be able to get too much trade out of all of those furs anyway. Hellspire Mountains, you're good. Bloodfire Falls, like so, and like so. And you know what? I don't know whether they'll die or not, but just in case, we can get, let's say, Protector of the Motherland here. We're not going to waste an Ice Witch on this. And then we'll use global recruitment to recruit you some cheap Cossars. We could at least hamper this army, or at least damage it a little bit more, which would hopefully allow us to get a little bit of attrition on them. Or, oh! Huh, we could actually build Streltsy here. They're a little bit expensive, mind you. Oh! We go the Frost from... Huh. I didn't realize there were... Might actually be able to... If these guys can't land here, you might actually be able to defend this. Granted, it'll cost us all of our money to defend some garbage territory, but we need some coastal defenders until the real armies make their way onto the field. So it feels like it makes sense to do so. Get a couple snow leopards, maybe? What would be the better option? I really wish I could see what was in this army. The enemy has a lot of doggos, which are going to be a problem. I'm inclined to say yes, Streltsy with Bardishas. 1, 2, 3, and we still have 2 spaces, which would either allow us for 2 Cossars, and I think that's it. And let's go for the 2 Cossars, then a little bit more range. With the non-spears, because we couldn't afford the spear ones. No, I guess we could afford 1. We'll use the Bardishas for that. Alrighty. Well, if they can't land, then you should actually be able to defend Troll Fjord. Don't know about you, but I also don't particularly care about you. You have firing drills, so at least you're able to help out with that a little bit. Get Born to Command, which will buff you up a little bit. And melee defense when defending. Let's go for that. You're still a recruiter at the end of the day. Just gotta make sure that you're not... Like, you have a bunch of ancillaries, but you don't have any items, and I'm not going to chance, let's say, giving you items. Frankly, you should be fine against this. But nonetheless. Alright, we have no money left for building. And look at us actually spending money. Alright, skip. Oh, there was a commandment available in one of the newer territories, presumably here. Get you those magic wards, and immediately build that... Oh. Not immediately. Later, build that gem mineshaft. Alright, now we end the turn. Yes? Wait. I want to double check with that stack again in case Festus's stack is in fact still alive, but I don't see it. End turn. Did I forget anything? I guess I could have moved with Castalton, probably generated some money out of the fight there, but well, what can you do? Emmerich has ended our trade agreement. Why? But why? You don't want to trade with this absolutely massive force that Kislev is on the world stage right now? I'm not gonna pretend to understand your reasoning there, Emmerich, but you do you, sir. Alright, what do we have here? Army receives plague. Well, of course it does. Ooh, the speed reduction is not so great, but whatever. What do we have in terms of defenders at Middenstag? Not much. Wait, would you actually be able to take this without Mother of Stankin needing to reinforce? Well, I guess we could... actually need to get as close to Brass Keep as possible, so we might want to march stance. Can you take the... wait. Tech Thief, you do you first.
No one suspects an old lady.
No one suspects an old lady. Ready for duty, the Brayherd's command failure, but... Direct victory... oh, for the... like... yep. Alright, fine. Now it should be fine. I'm gonna save it because once again I don't trust the auto-resolve. It screwed us. And now we're fine, now we're fine. Now occupy the place. And Astankia, you're going to march stance again, and I fear that you won't be able to reach Brass Keep next turn. Oh, you'll suffer attrition here? That's not great. Are you immune to attrition is the question. I mean, I guess if we wouldn't be able to reach Brass Keep in 2 turns anyway, or 1 turn anyway, what we could do is stay here for the turn, and then move out here next turn. Alright, well, either way, Black Pit Tribe destroyed Minstag, build a Kossar hut, we're going to trade you to the Imperials. And where's Ellen Dilling? I don't see him anymore. Oh, he's over here. Or she's over here, whatever. Not super relevant. Alright, now, let's see what these guys did. Okay, so we do still need to heal up. That hasn't changed. So you're gonna encamp and you're going to wait by the Palace of Princes. Can these guys actually reach you here? I don't know. But it's not this stack, so you should still probably be able to defeat them. You, Vladimir, have your frickin' light war sled back, and you're going to go into encamp, and just slowly move out of here. And on towards Shard Bastion. How many territories do the Agol have, I wonder?
Do not test me.
Siggy wants peace. Aghole I'm concerned about. 5 territories. Okay, so we gotta work through them so that they can't help Siggy out. You can keep on channeling, though you're looking good. As soon as we have enough money, we're going to make her a full stack out of various things. We just need to actually be able to recruit. That's also allowing Natasha Ilchenko to close the distance, which was needed. And you know what, just in case we're going to level everybody up here. So, what are we missing? Well, first of all,
Noble of the Oblast.
we have the good stuff. We have Horsemasters and Skirmisher traditions. We could get Battle Engineers for the 2 little Groms, but they doesn't actually do too much for us right now. I'm almost tempted to say we should move towards Cursed Frontier instead, so let's do that, did I? A little bit harder in range, though frankly we've been forced to kind of use you in melee in a decent amount of time. You have Soulblight, Spirit Leech, maxed out. Let's get Arcane Conduit, and let's get you Arcane Conduit as well. And ooh!
Commander of the soldiery.
The Frozen Heart of Winter is ready to go, the Oath Brothers of Tor are not. Okay, at least we know now. How's the recruitment? Okay, so your recruitment is proceeding apace, your recruitment is proceeding apace, but you'll have a maxed out sort of thing. You will need to recruit some basic troops, but I feel that perhaps we can wait, because we have other places where we can make use of that cash. Also, how's that Cornate army? It backed off as soon as it saw this. Perfect, alright, we're gonna get defenses down the coast then. Not much of a choice in the matter, and then I guess we'll do the same thing at Serpent Jetty. Also, do we have a farm here or a market? No, as long as we have a market, that's okay. Do we need the defenses of Pack Ice Bay? I mean, for now I think we'll be okay, at least I hope that we'll be okay. We'll find out later. Farmstead. And Kastelton is still stuck. Tzarina Katarin, your turn to move. And I guess you're going down here. Look at that. That's a lot of Legion of Asgore. That would be very tempting for Tzarina Katarin to kill. But she's getting some stuff out of here, so, yeah. Let's go down this way. I mean, if we power up Goldtooth even further, Man, he might actually start losing territories back against, or power up Greasus against Kugath. Who's he at war with? He's at war with the overlords of Jarduk, right? Who currently have the one territory. We can help them out against that. These guys would be able to underway stance down to the desolation of Drake and more, but that would actually just make them get closer to Tzarina Katarin, which, well, they probably don't want to do. Victor Zamvin, you're heading to the rats. You cannot reach Mingzhu this turn, but that will change. Yarogni, your army is ready to go. You're going to risk march stancing, and... I'll just go right here to the edge of this territory. I think you'll be fine. In fact, wait, I lied. You're going to go here, and you're going to go here. We're going to use Tor Demir to take the city of Shugungen, and then we're going to get even closer. And you as well. And then we're going to book it on towards Hai Chai, the capital of the Blessed Dread, who are still causing a lot of problems in Cathay, but now that we've beaten back Chaos in the north, we should be able to help out a lot more. Anyway. See what I mean? This campaign's still really fun. Damn it. Alright, okay, there's that stack. Madoran, you're gonna take Kappelberg after the Tech Thief is done with it. Like so. And another success. Good, 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 good. What's our research rating? Oh, right, we just completed that other thing. Let's move through Prague veterans towards immunity to psychology against chaos. It'll be needed. Yeah. Oh, right, we want to get Frenzy for the Warbear Riders, but, well, eventually. Kappelberg should be auto-resolvable. And Karl, please go for Talzin. Or actually, or don't go for I don't even care, because then this army could fight. Auto-resolve? Good lord. Really, against the Zargard, too? And against such basic units, you can keep hold of St. Anishka's finger bone, I guess. At least the healing will effectively put you into full HP, but still, damn. Alright, who's up next in terms of moving? A little bit of admin this time around, but sometimes necessary. Recruiter Gaspar, you're stuck. Sort of in a deadlock. Recruiter Gajovic, you're headed to Wrecker's Point, which you can't reach for this turn. And the Scout Yojin, you need to, well, go scout. That's what you're built for. Marienburg, yes to the Dies, yes to the Salt, yes to Arnau, yes to Gorcel, yes to Market. Though I fear we'll need to build defenses at Gorcel, Arnau, and Wrecker's Point and whatnot. And especially if the Wood Elves declare war on us. Who are they bogged down fighting right now? They're not even fighting the rats, really? You're not fighting Clan Scryer. And we can't force you to declare war on them. Well, darn. Okay. Let them fight it out. I feel like Scryer's proximity to them will eventually force them to get into a fight with them anyway, so it's kind of inescapable. Castelton. That's Pyrrhic victory now. Just stay here. I don't know whether we're gonna bother fighting that one, to be perfectly frank. It's just that it'll be a broken siege battle, so it won't be very interesting to watch, so I don't particularly care about it. There's a million enemies on Ulthuan and other places where we can actually get Castalton proper fights that aren't gonna be screwy. Alright, that looks good, and I would really like to level some of these up, but later on. Ah, Sisters of Twilight, still alive, I see. Though not particularly fond of us. Failure for Berlin of the Failure, that's twice in a row, yet again. Come on now. And Arkady Igoshin. Well, I guess you're gonna stay here for now. Oh. Well, you know what, if we had the scout, I would actually be tempted to send you to the Citadel of Lead. We could risk it. We got the defenses in 2 turns. Let's risk it. The enemy is floated away. And we could use you to help Castalton out. Isle of Wights is completely vulnerable now as Orion has left. Anyway, I do believe, unless I'm mistaken, that that's another end turn. Minus the building and the Ottomans. What do we have here? Observant, yes. The good stuff. And, oh, we got another one. What do you have? Also Observant. Really? Could have really used a lot more of those before now. Alright. How we doing? You, taverns? You, definitely the Silent Grove. We could get even more tech thieves out if we wanted to. Get like a dozen more tech thieves. The only reason that I'm not doing so, like, if I was playing for myself, if I wasn't recording this, that's what I would do. But the thing is, the agent spam is just a lot of on-screen time where we're not doing anything particularly interesting, and I'd rather not waste that time, so, you know. Keep it to a limited amount. Otherwise, I'd get like 20 of them and get our tech or research rate up to a plus 1,000 and go for one turn. But it would mean like doing 20 clicks extra every single turn, and it would get tedious extremely quickly. Anyway, keep on building. If nothing else, we're still recruiting, and it doesn't mean that we need to keep on building buildings and making that money. And Jarna Grund, I guess we have no choice but to build the taverns here, because we want to grow the place in order to go to tier 5 and then build that desecrated temple of Hashut. Let's get the farmstead here, merchant traders, and out of these things... Well, the defenses out of the Keep of the Eskin would be nice, it's just that they cost way too much in terms of devotion. We don't have that kind of devotion. Sad that may sound. And the Ice Guard building here, I'm gonna say another Haunted Forest, it's just more cash. Though this provides a Warbear Riders and Elemental Bear garrison. You know what, no, I think we're gonna go for that. It's a strong garrison that I think we can make some good use of should we need it. Imperial Roadway Jin, let's... Actually, no, why did I do this? I didn't do this, this was... Yeah, it was like that. You know what, leave the defenses here because the rats... But we'll see otherwise. Kappelberg, go for a military structure. More likely than not, we'll be trading you to the Imperials for other stuff that we actually want. Exotic Hothouse, yes. I think we upgrade you first because we can upgrade this to tier 3. Once again, we're not making a crazy amount of trade, but enough that I think it'll be worth our time. You can go for the gem mine, you can go for the iron mine, and that's it for you, Nordland. Salzenmund, looks like we're keeping you. We have wood and furs there, both of which will help us. Marble out here in Grungzint, also helpful. Citadel of Lead Market, Red Wastes. Ooh, we're gonna be just a teensy bit short, but pretty good still. This means that around 60,000 gold is how much we want to be generating every single turn to continue building. Granted, and other materials, let's see if we can find it at some point. That would be great. And hey, Beledna's army is almost ready. Lovely. Actually, speaking of Beledna, 2 turns, alright. And I guess we'll set her up here and then send her down the coastline. Maybe we'll use Beledna to invade Ulthuan, something like that. Anyway, Garrison Lord not moved and assigned skill points, commandment available yet again. Gonna go for Awaken the Land, and you know what? Start collecting the income at Marienburg. Now that we have 3 territories. End turn. The newer territories will also start generating income for us, but also start generating growth, so we won't need to rely on reducing the, not collecting the income to get the additional growth. There we go, that's the way that you say that. Defensive Alliance? No, sir, no. I really wish you weren't fighting the Sisters of Twilight and the Cult of Pleasure, but who knows, perhaps the Sisters have been corrupted by Marathi. And this, this episode is going to be so long that it's going to take me like several days to upload it. Sorry, guys. And Miusa, you have the casualty replenishment trait because of the Nurgle corruption, but you're not ever probably going to enter an army. So you do have some decent stuff, to be fair, but you have that ownership as theft, which we actually need for this. Then Mother of Stankia, just to double check now, you can't reach the place. And we still would suffer attrition here, so we're going to have you go into an camp. And wait, do you have Siege Attacker? I think you don't. Wait, actually you do because of the Frost Worms. Are you immune to attrition? You know what? Go all the way here. Go here. If you're not immune to attrition, you should be close enough to it as to make no difference. At least I hope. And this guy, where is he going? Tech Thief, I would like you to go down here and keep an eye on him. Madoran, I would like you to go into ambush and move towards him. We might be able to force the fight. Oh, are we trespassing in Draco's territory now? No, we're in Krugenheim. Which for some reason Draca didn't want to take for herself, but whatever, I'm not complaining. You can march stance. I don't actually care if we suffer a little bit of attrition, though what you can also do is get the second Frozen Heart of Winter ready for Boludna. Now, where do we steal tech? I guess we could go down here and steal tech from the ogres. Yeah, I think everybody would be happy with that, so go down to Scrag and do that. Or steal from the undead. Just because we've run out of enemies here to steal tech from. Alright, Tzarina Katarin, we are starting with you yet again. Could have actually taken the 2 Ice Guard units. Yeah, let's take 2 Ice Guard units. Oh, damn it, I screwed up. Wait. Can you attack this? You can. Huh, go figure. Alright, Goldtooth, we're going to join your... No, oh, we almost pressed Declare War. Declare War on the Overlords of Sharduk, yes. Alright, we're not going to then take the stuff, because we're going to attack you. Probably be able to auto-resolve it, though. At least I would imagine. Pyrrhic Victory... No, really? This? Game? Tzarina Katarin could take care of this on her own. Alright, fine, we're gonna manually fight this real quick. Then again, it still would be an entertaining watch, so I think we can still, wait, defensive supplies. Do you have a defensive structure? No? Heck. Nah, we'll still fight this cinematically, because we can still get some nice shots of Tzarina Katarin just careening around on her sled. It's always fun. Fight.
Ours is the immortal kingdom. These others are but insects to Kislev.
Yeah, man, the sled is faster when the camera is down on the ground than the camera itself, which is pretty neat. But anyway, here we go. At the very least, this battle will be different from the battle against Jarna Grun's main stacks, because it's a minor settlement, so, yeah. Anyway, Infernal Ironsworn will attempt to hold the ground against us as the Golden Knight leads the command squad forward, while the Ice Guard's arrows rain down from on high. Giving us some pretty fantastic shots, but you always got to love fighting the Chaos Dwarfs in the Darklands, because they got fantastic maps with fantastic colors that pop, and just generally speaking, dark sort of maps with sort of decent lighting, which makes for some epic cinematic shots. Plus, the sort of blue versus red that we got going allows us for some very nice contrast. Anyway, our arrows and our guns are doing pretty well as the heavy war sleds are providing support, both gunning the enemy down, specifically trying to focus single entities and low model units like the Bull Renders and the Bale Tauruses and the Skullcracker here, but also being close enough to provide their aura to our single entities, giving them additional armor and physical resistance. I'm gonna drop that Heart of Winter from Tzarina Katarin in the main blob there, while she continues riding around, and oh wow, she's already racked up 160 kills. Wasn't expecting that, considering the relatively elite nature of most of the enemies. Anyway, it looks like the enemies are losing their single entities pretty rapidly. Bale Taurus and enemy Skullcracker goes down fairly quick. And by the looks of it, we're good to enter the enemy settlement as the well, some of the defenders are dead. Tzarina Katarin has peeled away from the rest of them. In the minor settlement, at least, there's still a decent enough sort of room to maneuver and cast a few spells. That blizzard on top of that platform, the enemy is being stuck there and attempting to move through it, allow us to do plenty of damage to Infernal Iron Graves. Iron Glaives, I call them Iron Graves, but you know what? Their armor may as well be their gravestone. Alright, and we clear that blocking platform away with a nice hailstorm, and looks like these 3 to 5 units are shattered in their attempt to fight Tzarina Katarin. Looks like the enemy Sorcerer Prophet attempted to close the distance and got hit by a lot of our war sled guns for their trouble. Although by the looks of it, the blunderbusses did do a bit of damage to one of our snow leopards, losing about 25% of her HP. Not a big deal though, because we do still have that Patriarch here, so he should be able to heal them up. Heal them up just fine. And at the very least, the blunderbusses are no longer firing. A decent amount of the enemy are turned to where the guns of our war sleds can fire into their backs as well. Very, very nice. Another Heart of Winter comes down upon the enemies fighting here, while Tzarina Katarin holds back maybe half of the enemy army out here, and is almost up to 500 kills, while she continues her rampage. Once she got her sled, she's basically never stopped. Just a non-stop speed demon rampage. Honestly, after this campaign, I've grown to absolutely love this frickin' sled. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do. I'm almost tempted to play Cetra just to compare his Chariot of the Gods, because I remember back in the day when the Chariot was released, even though it was nice, I always ended up putting Cetra on the War Sphinx rather than on the Chariot, because it just felt generally better. Even if the Chariot of the Gods was unique, but I am kind of curious to see how the Chariot would perform in SFO. Would it perform to the same degree of ludicrous effectiveness as Tzarina Katarin would, is the question. Oh, I mean, Tzarina Katarin has bonkers spellcasting abilities, so a lot of her damage is from that as well. Plus, while she's riding around on that sled, she also has her Mirror of the Ice Queen active, meaning she's also doing a little bit of Mortis Engine effects. Anyway, either way, the balance power is at about 95% in our favor. A few of the enemy units remain alive, but it looks like we didn't even really need to push the Ice Guard or the Tsar Guard forward. War sleds have made it in to sort of help clean up the units that Tzarina Katarin has damaged, and she herself is going to move towards the last remaining unit on the field. I should say units, but I expect that Sorcerer Prophet will stay up in the sky rather than come down, and will probably just fly away once his troops have done. The enemy might as well have no mass. She just rides through them, just doesn't care. It's glorious. Someone suggested that it should be snow leopards rather than horses pulling the sled, and I'm kind of inclined to agree. That would probably look better and feel more appropriate. I wonder why they chose horses specifically. There may be an actual sort of engine limitation to it, though. Snow leopards are very fast. I do have to wonder whether their animations limit the speed of the unit. I'm just remembering the Frostwolf chariots or Ice Wolf chariots of the Norskins. They were broken because they couldn't move particularly fast, and due to the fact that the animations limited the way that they could move. So the same thing could possibly be the case for the snow leopards. Though that said, the snow leopards are really, really fast, but maybe when being yoked to a chariot, that's an issue. But anyway, quick little fight. Battle's ours. The enemy army will shatter, and as expected, the Sorcerer Prophet will simply fly away, abandoning his troops to escape with his life. Alright, one loss, one Kislevite warrior fell. That was hardly surprising though, and once again, 806 kills and 150,000 damage on Tzarina Katarin, who's an absolute maniac on that sled.
Tzarina Katarin of Kislev.
A moment. Go here.
Said march.
Then we declare war on this little beastman tribe because we can't leave them here or else they'll be annoying. So we'll do this and I'll declare war on them. Don't call your allies to help. And then we'll end the turn like this, meaning I believe they're stuck in our zone of control and can't leave, so we should be able to kill them off next turn, and then proceed down to probably knock out the Tower of Gorgoth, take it a tier 4, and because it is a mountain territory, it is actually a green territory for us. We could pass through the Legion of Asgore's territory as well. We would probably need another army down here if we want to continue while on down here as well. Anyway, Vladimir Mikhail. Well, I guess let's take a look at this. First of all, you, Talzin. We should be able to knock these guys out next turn, so we should be okay. Vladimir Mikheyev and Sorka Gospodar. You should now be immune to attrition, or you are still immune to attrition, so proceed down here, and you can follow along. You, not so much with the attrition immunity, but nonetheless. And you can return to the army at last, powering it back up significantly. Out here, Halfthor Mammoth Rider actually has a army that's probably worth a fight for Igor while he's damaged in the manner that he is. We're all damaged in the man with some manner. We'll deal with that afterwards. You can proceed to Mingzhu. Most of the rat armies are down here, although by the looks of it... Oh, it's empty. Wait. Don't do anything yet. Can this guy attack you while here? It's a Skaven slave army. But yeah, it's the rats. It's appropriate. It's fine. You go here. What do we have here then? City of Shugingen. It's not also a ruin. It also is a ruin. What the heck is going on here? Why is this also a ruin? I mean, I guess you can call... I don't want to waste Rogni's turn, so colonize. It's stupidly expensive, but whatever. And you got an Ataman's administrator, but I guess you can hold on to that for now. You can build the spice market. We'll go for the Awaken the Land, and we'll build both of you up immediately. Huh, wasn't expecting that. You, Rogni, can... I was about to say go into channeling, but I guess you don't need to. Go into raiding for a turn, and we'll have you hit High Chai next turn. Alright, Blessed Dreader and Travul. These guys have sent way too many of their forces southward, leaving their northern territories completely open for attack. I would also like to build that war drum for your Rogni, so... Oh, it's gonna take 2 turns, meaning you can't move, but whatever. Where's the war drum? 32, and Western Provinces, also 32. A little bit more than I'd like, but we can deal. Alright, who is up next? Gonna take like 48 hours to upload. Yeah, we're gonna get this fight going. Igor, attack this guy as well, and then I guess back off so that you don't immediately get killed by these guys. Hopefully he doesn't run, because I would like to heal after this battle if possible. Is he willing to fight? Indeed, he has a Pyrrhic victory, and, well, we'll have to work for our victory as this army is damaged, but that's a good thing. Get ready to fight.
Clouds gather, Kislevites, and like the eternal winter of the motherland, we bring the storm!
Alrighty, here we go. We bring the storm indeed, and I suspect that this Norscan army is going to have a lot tougher a time against us than the Slaneshi of Sigvald, or Sigvald's main stack did. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off as usual by annoying the enemy with our Kossovite archers. It looks like the enemy's kind of hiding in the forest, which is kind of neat here. I know it's not on purpose, as the AI isn't really capable of this, but it does look kinda neat. That said, I'm not sure that the trees will be able to hold off those little Grom shots, especially as the enemy is close enough for us to fire upon them. And we're going to try to do as much damage to the enemy range units as possible. In the meantime, I'm doing a little bit of harass work from our hag witches, who are dropping spells, specifically Flocks of Doom and whatnot, upon the enemy blobs, while we continue raining down little Grom shots upon the enemy from this hill. A fairly decent vantage point. Now, I also have to remember that the Ikshina ambushers are in stock, so that the enemy does not know they're here, but they're positioned pretty well with this cliffside to act as a wall to their side. Anyway, looks like the enemy is now sufficiently annoyed. Their archers, or their horsemen, at the very least, sufficiently damaged to need to move towards us lest they be completely destroyed, so the kiting will begin. All the while the little Groms continue firing. There we go, not too bad. They're certainly solid at knocking out cav units and blobs. It's really what they're best at. Well, that and, you know, still since they're a hybrid, we've used them many a time to anchor lines and fight in melee, which is a pretty solid use. Anyway, looks like an enemy Marauder Chieftain attempted to move forward, but it got hit or stopped by that Tormentor's Sword, as well as the Spirit Leech. Stagger shot from several of our units of... well, actually, no, these guys aren't in range. Just, I guess, shots from... Wait, who's the stagger shot from? Huh. I'm not sure. Who's staggering you? These guys aren't in range. You don't have stagger shot. I'm not sure. Maybe maybe for a second somehow one of the Akshina ambushers were in range, but either way it doesn't matter because all of our Kosovoid archers did focus him down, and the little Grom will take that enemy chieftain apart, bringing down Chariot and chieftain alike. I'm gonna get a few spells out as well, a Purple Son of Zareas, just to block the enemy off as they finally make their way towards our main line of Akshina ambushers. Of course, our hags continue to do their work, and ooh, this unit of spears, this is not a place you want to be. No shields to you, and certainly not a lot of armor, so the Akshina ambushers will pincushion you very quickly. Though it isn't really the focus of our units, as they're a little bit more focused on dealing with the enemy Marauder Berserkers, because let's face it, they're a much bigger threat. Speaking of the Marauder Berserkers, here comes another one of their number, and continues attempting to move forward, but the stagger shot prevents them from reaching. As the enemy blobs up again, we hit them with more Flocks of Doom. And though we have been forced to use our little Groms in melee a little bit, the enemy does manage to flank us a bit here, as one of our Akshina ambushers, at least, is forced into the melee. We do move our Druzhina, a Lord, forward as well, and not really expecting him to do too much damage to the enemy Marauder Hunters here, but rather to force them into melee. Oh, nice hit to those Berserkers. Rather to force the enemy range units into melee so they can't hit back at our Akshina ambushers. Also got to remember that the Akshina ambushers have very short range, 110 I believe now? Yeah. Standard 100 plus the 10% that we got from buffing them. And yeah. And this is probably the only unit that's going to get heavily damaged by virtue of getting flanked by this unit of Marauders, but the Marauders do get hit by Fata Biuna and Spirit Leech and are in the process of being targeted by other units as well, and will run away. Fata Biuna will probably ensure that the unit dies anyway as it runs its course. Ooh, nice shot from the little Grom right into the backs of those units, and it looks like that was sufficient. Most of our units took very, very little damage. And the little Grom, and having to fight some Marauders with great weapons, lost some HP, but that's hardly surprising. Plus, this army is very, very good at chasing, since we have 6 units of Marauder horses. I'm confusing the skirmisher cab now. 6 units of the Kosovoid archers to run down the enemy, especially the relatively unarmored Marauders or low armored Marauders. They're quite good. Plus, the Akshina ambushers are reasonably fast and can continuously slow enemies down with stagger shot, and the little Groms firing into the enemy backs as well ensures that almost all the enemy army, pretty much all but the enemy skirmisher cab, is destroyed. Alright, there we go. Went pretty darn well this time around. We do still have to heal yet again rather than take the money because this army is damaged, but by the looks of it, next turn it'll be at in a healthy enough state, I should say, to destroy the rest of Sigvald's army. The relatively slow-moving nature of the Norskins meant that, unlike the Slaneshi, they stood no chance against the Akshina ambushers. Now, Morkar... I mean, we could still... What do we have here? I'll try to bait him into a fight. We're in camp, and while we are damaged, we probably could fight this. Unlike Sigvald's army, this isn't going to be nearly as strong, though they do have a lot more magic to call upon. We'll stay where we are. We'll see if they try to attack us. I'm gonna keep going through Deadeye.
I shall carry it with honor.
What do we want out of this? The Fata Biuna is once... Well, I'm tempted to go for Protective Charms. What do they have in terms of missile damage? Basically nothing. Meaning we could probably forego Protective Charms for a little bit. Get another point, I think, in... Well, you know what? Let's get the Fate of Buna. A single use of it is going to heavily damage units like Chosen or Demonettes or whatever, and thus probably warrants picking it up. Anyway, certainly better... Well, I mean, it's not that Purple Suns didn't do anything in that battle. They were certainly useful to us, but, well, they could have been more useful. Anyway, Wrecker's Point. We'll pick you up at 5,000 gold and start on that. Collect income. And Recruiter Guyovich. There are no further ruins here, meaning you... Oh, hello. Seducers of Slaanesh. Huh. Go figure. They're moving towards us. Velocity, we may actually have some work for you. You're gonna move back, but I guess you can't move right now, so that'll be later. Who's up next? Do we have Recruiter Gaspar? No. Castelton, you're going to wait for Cody to move on in like so. I say, oh, for the love of... We need to do it again, don't we? It's kind of annoying, but what can you do? Alright, now, still Pyrrhic Victory. But we can just auto-resolve it. Look, I know that there's some Chaos Warriors here and a couple of units of Chosen, but let's face it, this army isn't really a threat to us, and since it'll be a broken siege, there's no real need to fight it. I'd rather save it for good field battles. Auto-resolve. A little bit of damage. Ooh, I should have actually saved that because that could have destroyed the war sleds like it did before when it was being tricksy. And, hey, another Priest of Tal. It's been a while, as well as an Armor of Destiny. Okay, well then it was definitely the right move to do that, because otherwise we wouldn't have gotten those. Or maybe, I don't know. I assumed the seed would have been different, but I could be wrong. Anyway, we're now going to have to use up all of our money on Troll Fjord again, though it will have defenses this time. Master of Beasts... Kassar Commander, you can be okay, you're actually useful because you can be a recruiter and we can just give you a bunch of cheap Kassars and actually make good use of them. We will build an Frostworm here. With the defenses, and let's say... How much do the Frostworms cost? Oh, 4.3k. Expensive. Yeah, one Frostworm and 6 of these guys should be more than enough to be able to hold, assuming that we can actually do that. As in, assuming that these guys can't land before you recruit, but frankly, we don't really care if you die, so whatever. Palisade here, and Harbor, and Trade Corps. Wait. Oh, huh, I didn't even know you could build the Manners of the Ice Queen in regular settlements. I assumed that it would be only in the big settlements, but kind of interesting nonetheless. These guys still not liking us, eh? No. Whatever. Who is up next? Mother of Stanky can't move. Igor Talichev just did move. Our recruiter Gaspar, Dmitry Sokin. Ah, good. This stuff's ready. You are going to transfer all of this to Kazahaila. And she's going to get ready to move with Beledna. Alright, or as Beledna, or get replaced by Beledna shortly. Oh, lovely. And you have the rest of Beledna's stuff, but she'll have her army... Oh, you have the rest of Beledna's stuff, but she'll have her army soon ready to go. Alright, who is up next? If anybody needs to move this turn, Recruiter, no. Velocity, no. It's time for the Tech Thieves. Unfortunately, because of all that recruitment, we probably won't have enough money to build everything that we want. But it's all good. Alright, Tech Thieves, I fear that we're going to actually have to level you this time around because I've spent too long not leveling you just to try to save on a little bit of time. Wound here. And Tech Thief, let's get you Steel Tech. Let's get you Wound. Just in case they get attacked. I'm not going to, you know, character spam to the point that we actually need that. Musa, one more time, Steel Tech from Brass Keep. That'll probably be the last time as well, because these guys should be destroyed next turn, which should give us the long victory. Tech Thieves. Still gonna move you, and still gonna continue annoying Ellen Delling. Can you reach? Okay, you go to Black Pit. You go to Lorelorn. Success and success, huh? Well, they all failed last turn, and now they all succeed. Good for them. And I believe that was the last. So, with the money that we have remaining... Oh, wait, Ataman thing. Ah, we got a new Ataman as well. Ooh, plus 10. Been waiting for some of these. We need a province that's generating good cash. Barely anything in Black Blood Pass. We got 3,800. Or 3,080. Not quite as good, but still not bad. Alright, good enough, good enough. And diplomacy. I don't even know why I bother checking diplomacy. It's just a tick at this point. Exiles of Nahek looks like they're going to be done for soon. Vissenland is losing territory quite rapidly to the ogres in combination with the vampire cats. I'm actually shocked that Ongrim is still alive. This has been going on for absolute ages in this campaign. It's kind of interesting. I was kind of invested to see who would actually win the deadlock and didn't want to interfere with them, as I found it greatly entertaining. But anyway, taverns for you, Karakadrek, Icetooth Mountains. Let's do the farm there. Tower of Karak, let's upgrade you. Good. Bloodfire Falls. Yes to the churches, I guess. I mean, I'm only upgrading the churches because, well, I don't want to see them pop up at the end of every single turn with regards to building. Eternal Lagoon and Woodsman's Hut. Eastern Steppes. The Wasteland. Alright, like so. We do need to prioritize defenses here, though. I'm almost tempted to cancel some of this stuff, but I guess, of course, Cell survives for another couple of turns, and then we'll be able to build defenses there anyway, so shouldn't be an issue. Alright, farmstead here, market I wish, but alas, we are out of money. Albion. Oh, the new territory. Can we build the Odin Stones? Alas, we cannot, but I guess we'll want to. Well, wait, this is... Oh, it's a jungle territory. Does this count as a chaos climate, I wonder? Because it's all... Well, I guess it doesn't. It's just that Bellicor is here. I mean, it's not... It's Albion. It's not chaos. And Bellicor is just being... well, Bellicor. Alright, well, that's fine. Otherwise, I believe we are good, assuming that we don't have to do anything else. We can end the turn and see if any of our ambushes or any of those work. And, oh, I forgot about Scout Yojin. I don't know why I forgot about you. If we had Scout Yojin up and running over here, we wouldn't have had to waste like 20,000 gold recruiting stuff here. But whatever. All good. And hey, would you look at that? Silence, you're moving in. Yeah, the Slaaneshi have sighted us here on Albion. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. We'll probably also join these armies together into sort of one army to defend the coastline. Elspeth wants that military alliance. No, Elspeth, no. I would if it wasn't for Draika. We could send an army just to destroy Draika, though. Alright, Feckin' Knights will not fall for that ambush. Damn. A crying shame. They have one army left. Army receives Plague, Creator, Master Mason, Belena the Defender, ready for duty at last. Improved lookouts? And, ooh, okay. Are you in range? You are. Okay, wait, we got this, guys. Nobody panic. Draining Winds? Yeah, we don't care. We don't care, because this should be auto-resolvable. And that will leave one army left to Mr. Festus, which means that army won't run, which means we'll actually be able to fight it. Astankia, hit the brass key. Yeah, relax. This really shouldn't be a valiant defeat. With you moving in camp stance, mind you. Now it should be Pyrrhic. Really? Really this? Really, game? Oh, okay, wait. Maybe if we level up a little bit, that'll deal with it. Although I fear it won't. Nah, it doesn't look like it. Nah. Alright, get Forbidden Fens. We'll still give it a try, and then we'll see. It just feels like a rather unnecessary battle. Vissen's Wild Form we use quite a lot, so let's get that. Wood Warden doesn't really... Oh, actually. If these guys are going to be fighting the Wood Elves, then Protective Charms and Wood Warden are both going to be quite helpful. Though this is only for you, it's not for the army, so... not super relevant. Transformation of Kadan is fine, but it's a little bit expensive. When we can just keep spamming Flocks of Doom over and over again. It won't afford us enough, I think, points. Oh, let's get Pan's Impenetrable Pelt, which is still quite nice for this entire blob. You need to get Magical Reserves, Earthing, and I guess Malediction of Madness. I kind of prefer Cursed Cauldron. It's just that this thing's too expensive, and it affects only one unit. It just feels not worth it. So yeah, we're gonna get you Arcane Conduit instead. And there we go. With those levels, with our powers combined, Quartermaster, or by these powers combined, whatever. Ursun's Roar. Oh, you've been leveling, sir. Saliak's Lullaby, towards Battle Hymn, Daja's Song of Winter's Sunlight, and Replenish Troops, and another point in Tor's Battle Hymn because it's better, and another point in Replenish Troops. You're level 7, so you won't quite get the same amount of stuff, but we can ignore the Daja's Song of Winter's Sunlight because frankly it's not that good. Or at least it's not as good as the other stuff. Now it's still gonna kill you off. Game. Alright, we're gonna manually fight this super quick, and then we'll cinematically fight the other of the Fecundite armies. Assuming that I didn't miss something, this faction should be destroyed and we should get our long victory right after this. We certainly had to work for it this episode. We got a bunch of battles. That Sigvald battle was very much down to the wire, and then, well, I wouldn't say it was down to the wire, but it was a pretty fantastic fight against the forces of the Servants of the Conclave. Alright, real quick on this. You all back off, they can't see you anyway. You all go into melee and then get through that Imperial settlement. And the reinforcements are coming in from here. It's gonna take a long time to batter down the gate anyway, so... Really? Okay, there we go. Alright, start deployment and start battle and go, 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 go. Let's hope you don't all get in each other's way. You're gonna get hit by, you know what, use Pan's Impenetrable Pelt on yourself before the towers shoot you, and speed up to max. There we go. The Pans should help these guys not take so much damage. A little bit, but not super concerning. Damn. This tank is making a very long speech today. She's upset at having to fight this battle. But she should be used to it, frankly. The entire enemy faction. Oh, there's a giant in there. Okay, we're just certainly going to need a little bit of help with that. Gate is fortunately going down right quick, which is great. We do have to be careful of the tank and because they're relatively fragile. Let's move on in. Gate will be down shortly. Piles of units. Get ready to go. Alright, how's that gate looking? Nearly there, and there we are. Alrighty, now, we do have summonings available to us, and we're certainly going to need them. Summoning a 1, and summoning a 2. Frostworm, and you go after the giant. This tank and co, just stay there. Alright, other Frostworm and co go here. Don't let the giant kill it, but that's what we... Oh, you guys... I thought they were out of range, like I thought they were still hidden. Make your way in to the enemy settlement. We'll pop Goulias on the Frostworm. And then we'll have you guys go after the enemy lord. We will start popping spells all over the place. Spell 1. Then you guys make your way inside. Wink. Alright, let's pop a few spells off as well. Or a few more spells off, I should say. Another one of these, and let's get you going. Another one of the Assaults of Stone. Looks like the kitties are absolutely obliterating that giant. Then we're going to get you buffed up with a nice Vison's Wild Form, and that'll allow the kitties to do even more. Alright, we can also pop the Vengeance of the Spirits. Where are we here? Like so on everybody. Wait. Yeah. Silence the enemy. And, oh, somebody asked in the comments previously why I don't use the Dire Spirit Bear. It's, I just don't find it to be a particularly good spell or all that worth using. It needs to, you need to maintain too much distance, and the AI takes too long to sort of line it up and take the shot, which is a bit of a shame. Witch Brew, let's switch you to Witch Broth, and let's, a nice line of healing for all this. Our Frostworms are starting to take a little bit of damage. There we go. That worked out nicely. Some Chaos Knights coming in. And did you guys kill the giants? Yeah, the kitties obliterated the giants. Now they're going to obliterate the Chaos Lord in a few seconds, and they have, and now we're going to move them to kill off those Chaos Knights. Alright, any more buffs? We could do a Pans. Once again, the nice thing about the Allure of Beasts is that we can do this sort of thing. And just continuously buff everybody up. Oh, Curse of the Ancient Wish. No, why not? Alright, let's watch a little bit more. We just really need the kitties to actually make their way through to the enemy. Oh, you know what? Actually, before we do anything else, we need to get another Witch Broth going. Witch Broth to go. Okay, you know what? Move you and you in here towards the Chaos Knights. We need to actually hit you both with the Witch Broth. Oh no, reinforcements have arrived. Frankly, by the looks of it, though, we don't need them. I mean, we never did, but, you know. There's that Witch Broth. Oh, I used the wrong spell, didn't I? Or did I? No, I didn't. Okay. Nobody panic. Everything's fine. Healing's okay. Do we have another Goulias available? Indeed, we do heal one of the Frost Worms, but by the looks of it, we are good to go. And why is the battle not over? What's going on here? Need to be in proximity with another unit. Alright, fair enough. Witch Brew. And there we go. Proximity is applied, and we are good. Alright. That was always going to be a decisive victory. One unit lost, presumably. Well, no, presumably it's the only unit that could be lost. It was one of the things in the woods, but yeah. Just the auto-resolve being wacky. I mean, this particular army, I actually am not surprised that the auto-resolve is wacky, but yeah. Hopefully we can get those 2 or 3 incarnate elementals of beasts in here, and we should actually be able to... Wait. No, we can't build them out of Kislev. We need either Erengrad, we need one of the other places to go to tier 5. Either way, occupy this. Veteran Warrior, Channeling Staff, and another St. Anushka's Finger Bone. Man, we have a lot of these finger bones. How many fingers did St. Anushka have? Although I guess just like real life, it's, I don't know, probably there's a lot of faking of relics and stuff going on, so... maybe St. Anushka was a mutant and in fact had 50,000 fingers, or maybe a lot of those are fake. What I wanted to check here was this. While we'll be able to build incarnate elementals in only 2 turns, and we're kind of close, so that's good. Now, was that your last territory? Yes, indeed it is, which means, in theory, you shouldn't run from a door in a Synod. Which means, in practice, we should be able to fight. Okay, these guys won't benefit from higher levels, but we can get Relentless Chargers here. Wait, what? Relentless Chargers? You don't have any cav. Oh, I was going to replace these 2 Acolytes of Ursun with a couple of Griffin Legion just to be able to chase enemies down, but... we're doing that in other places as well. Go Rally, and go Ursun's favored for all those Zargard. Alright, next up, Mages. What do we have here? We could buff up Guardian's Call. We could get Gust of True Flight maxed out. The range being plus 40% is going to be ridiculous on the... I find this kind of funny. Let's do this. It's going to be ridiculous on the Little Groms, who are already at 608 range. It's absolutely insane. I'm just going to Retinue Valet just so we can get into Retinue Physician earlier. So let's go Retinue Valet. On Tor's Battle Hymn was the important thing anyway, so... Yeah, Retinue Valet for you as well, sir, and... Assuming I'm correct, you shouldn't run. And run you will not. A Pyrrhic victory, and, well, this is not a full stack. It's certainly worth fighting cinematically. Though, I really don't see how this could possibly be a Pyrrhic victory. Go.
Consequences than the blades of these cars.
There we go. You gotta love the line of little Groms of firing at the same time, and we'll hopefully get plenty of shots of the Zargard since we have them in such big numbers here, fighting in this particular stack. Anyway, get a few more volleys, little Groms. They're targeting individual or specific units now. attempting to go after the things like the trolls, the spawn of Nurgle, the chariots, and other such things. The hills, unfortunately, did interfere with our first volley because the enemy started up here, but now that they're drawing closer, and we should be able to draw a bead and get some nice shots through those enemies. Too bad the enemy doesn't have much in the way of cav to knock down like this, but, well, hopefully. Hopefully we can dish out the damage. I believe one of the little Groms is going to switch. Yeah, there we go. Switch targets to one of the Chaos Lord as well, so maybe we can do some damage there. Alright, that looked like a hit. Not a crazy amount of damage, mind you. What do you have in terms of... Oh, 35% missile resistance. Solid. Solid, but that's just fine by me, as we can... we get a little bit of work from our Zargard, and then a little bit of help from the Acolytes of Ursun, who are up to 49 melee defense in this particular army due to that buff that they have from the Kreml officer trait. Alright, it looks like the enemy is getting ready to flank us with some Hounds of Decay, and we are going to hold them back. Alright, people Zargard gets sent flying, but not to worry, those great weapons should make decent work of the enemy doggos, especially now that we're ready to move on in and with the Acolytes of Ursun and help out. There's probably too many enemy units here to hold with just one unit of Zargard, but the rest of the Zargard are needed to hold the main line. Do these guys count as large entities? They do! The Hounds of Decay count as large. Well, that's just perfect, considering the Acolytes of Ursun are in this particular army to act as anti-large. Anyway, the enemy line is making their way forward now. Hounds now being joined by the enemy lord as well as trolls and chariots. And just to start with the Blades of Dodge, or Dodge's Hearth Blades rather, should be able to rip those chariots apart pretty darn quick. There we go. Charge and not being super effective from them. Alright, and it's time to let the little Groms join the fray in melee. Frankly, at this point, they're probably more of a threat to our line than the enemy is, at least if they continue firing on the enemy while engaged. Another option would be to move them around and flank the enemy and fire essentially along in the enemy lines, but frankly, I wanted to give the Zargard a chance to get some action. I mean, well, the Hearthblades have fought many a battle already since they were in an army that was actually fighting for a while. But the rest of the Zargard, in this particular army, discounting Tzarina Katarin Zargard, still wanted to do a little bit of work. Alright, some poor little Nurglings having a pretty tough time here, and melting away. The biggest portion of the battle is out here. We've taken a little bit of damage on our summoned Snow Leopard, but it's a summoned unit, and that's why we sent it forward. Essentially to hold back a few of the enemy doggos and force them into an engagement and take their charge as well. Anyway, Ice Guard keep on fighting, or Zargard rather keep on fighting. Gonna get a hailstorm to come down and help them out a little bit. Not that I think it's super needed. Bounce power shifts to about 90% in our favor, and by the looks of it, the enemy army is nearly out of here. The enemy lord's still in the midst of the fight, but by the looks of it hasn't... Does he have no kills? No, he has 2 kills. Yeah, not great. Not great. And everybody else is more or less okay. Of course, we do still have to have the demons melt away. So even if the trolls and the mortal units are out, we'll have a little bit more action remaining. Anyway, Dodge's Hearthblades facing off against some trolls now, taking a few swings at the trolls. I think from a loreful perspective, this would be a pretty solid matchup, as the fiery great weapons of these guys would be particularly effective against troll flesh, due to fire being effective against troll metabolism. And now I do believe the enemy army has shattered, and it's just a matter of dealing with the enemy demonic and unbreakable units. Chaos Spawn being unbreakable, but not demons. And thus not being banished, though their lives will be, or they'll be banished from this plane of existence as soon as they're all dead. And dead they will be relatively shortly. Plague Bearers are out, and by the looks of it, this last Chaos Spawn is the last thing on the field, as it will go down to the Zargard, quacking away. Oh, damn, that's, this thing's holding fairly decently. Good job to the Chaos Spawn, and there we go. They are the Chaos Spawn of Nurgle, though, so they're a little bit more tanky than the others are. Alright, battle's ours, no problem at all. Did a little bit of damage with the little Groms, but I did also enjoy them fighting in melee as well. We'll do the chasing off screen. Alright, there we go. Now, unfortunately, the enemy army had way too many fast movers for us to fully destroy the stack, but hopefully that won't be too huge of an issue. Fun watching the little Groms fire. Of course, they didn't do a crazy amount of damage, but unfortunately, this particular army didn't really have, let's say, too many things that were liable to take too much damage from these guys. Plus, the hill was a little bit interfery with our fire. That said, we were still able to heavily damage the trolls and a few other things. And of course, once the enemy closed the distance, especially with the Daj's Hearthblades, and 19k damage, 15k from the Acolytes of Ursun, generally speaking, the Zargard held the line well. And we even forewent using too many spells to allow the Zargard to do their thing and have a lot of fun. We're gonna pardon the captives for money, and damn, the army is going to escape. I was hoping that because this is the last stack the enemy has, it wouldn't actually be able to move, but alas, this does mean that we will have to end the turn before it is destroyed. Hey, and our prog, immunity to psychology in area, that ain't bad. Alright, let's see what else we can do, and hey, we got another territory, I guess, where we can make even more money. 3,000 out of Hellspire Mountains? Sure, why not? Good host? Sure, why not? And that's good. Alright, next up, Tzarina Katarin. Move you on in. You are dead.
Strike them down.
Don't, okay. I was growing very concerned there for a second. I'll resolve this, and it's more damage than we'd like, but we can heal up a decent bit of it. And a Griffin, oh, now we're getting all the good banners. A little bit late, game, a little bit late. Next, if we go, oh, this is all attrition. Well, Tzarina Katarin is immune to attrition, so let's go through the Gates of Jar territory, and we'll move on towards the Tower of Gorgoth. I mean, I suppose we could, in theory, take the Gates of Jar for ourselves, but these guys hold the Demon Stump, and maybe we don't care enough about that. They are still fighting Goldtooth, or I keep confusing Kugath and Goldtooth, but yeah. Anyway, Vladimir Mikheyev, you... Okay, this guy's going to attempt to escape. Kind of surprising. What do we have in terms of defenses here? Hopefully, not so bad. Motherland stance and go on into the Shard Bastion, then Sorka, you can back us up here. And close victory, nobody will die, presumably. And I do say presumably because we don't know. Game, we are going to save, because we can't trust out resolve and it might kill off the war sled again. Oh, in fact it will not, huh. It didn't show it the first time, did it? But now it is. What the heck, game? How could you do this? Alright, might have to manually fight this real quick. Let's see who else is doing stuff or needs to do stuff. Victor Zamvin. There's probably defenders at Kunlun. Oh no. They're going after this guy with the... Man. Alright, I guess Uragni, you're gonna have to go here. Go into ambush. We might be able to draw at least one of these armies forward. These Skaven slaves aren't ones I really care about, but, well... We gotta protect this fella. Victor Zamvin, I would like you to besiege Kunlun, because I'd like to see what's actually going on over there. Though the rats are... There's nothing at Kunlun. What the heck is going on? Wait. What? What? How are the rats so strong if everything's empty? There's no... I don't understand what's happening. This is bizarre. This is their capital. What the heck is... Well, actually, wait. Is Qingpo still their capital, or is it Kunlun now? Well, it is the... Let's say it's the capital of their main province. Let's say that. But still kind of bizarre. You are going to go into encamp stance and stay right here. And we're going to see if we can't bait these guys into a fight. And if we can't, we'll attack them next turn once we're, if not full health, at least decent health. Sorka Gospodar, fine. Recruiter Talichev is fine. Recruiter Gaspar is stuck where he is. And hey, this guy, oh, this guy's still moving in. But now we have defenses, and we have the Frost Worm. Does he have something so strong in this army that he's actually willing to fight this? Curious. Quite curious indeed. You, Castelton, go right here.
You may touch
And
me.
okay, I thought that was another stack. Kill this. Wait, who? Wait, did it just not work? I want to see whether we have enough anti-seduction guys. Ritual Enforcer 1. Ritual Enforcer 2. Probably give these patriarchs some items. I gave items to all the older armies, but a couple of the newer ones don't have them yet. Go. And really? Alright, fine. Once again, I like watching Castelton's army fights, so yeah, this episode, however, is getting so long that I fear that the game's gonna have a memory leak and then crash, so I'm gonna save this just in case. Not that we have a chance of losing here, but, you know.
Not one step backwards! Cowardice earns only execution at my hands!
Alrighty, here we go, a little bit of Slaaneshi action for the guns of the Orthodoxy, or as the Faith, Steel, and Gunpowder Army that a few of you have dubbed it in the comments. Should be a pretty fun battle. Our units will use their faith to not succumb to the seductions of Slaanesh and their guns to drive home their rejection. Anyway, here we go, the enemy army directly charging towards us now, and the guns begin to fire, but even if they get close to us, these stats on the Streltsy once again are very, very solid to hold. 67 melee attack when the light war sleds are in here buffing them up as well. Very nice. The light war sleds give us what? How much melee attack? +5 melee attack and then weapon damage as well. The heavy war sleds are better for their support, but that's why we have more of them. Anyway, looks like some chariots and seekers are going to try to charge in, but barely find any purchase at the anti-large Streltsy. And with Bardishas, we are going to then, let's see, 91 melee attack with that Tor's Battle him up, and anti-large at that. That's pretty good. And yeah, if enemy chariots and seekers can't charge through a line of gun units, I expect that means the battle is going to go very, very poorly for the enemy. There we go, those big old Bardishas smashing those chariots like so much kindling. Alright, the rest of the enemy army moves on in as well. We switch to Bastions of the Great City now, bumping our armor up to 105 on all those Streltsy, and continue holding the line just fine. Relatively little damage so far. Really, so far, the only real damage is on the light war sleds and heavy war sleds, and that was done before the battle actually began, as we didn't start the battle with full HP. Since all of our sleds are -1 unit. Anyway, looks like some more chariots and more marauders attempted to flank us over on this side, and another patriarch will... Ooh, I like how he's holding the hill, essentially, with all of those enemies around him. Pretty good. Castelton, you should have been the one to do this, but I do believe Castelton is busy killing the enemy lord, who is now banished. A Heart of Winter will now activate over on this hill where the enemies attempted to flank us. Almost feels like they sent more units to the flanks than they did to the center. But that does kind of make sense for a Slaaneshi army anyway, considering all the fast movers that they have. Alright, and here we go. The hill's still held by one of our patriarchs, belting out hymns of Tordaj, Salyak, and Ursun, I'm sure, and forcing the enemy throughout. Lovely. A nice little fight. The enemy could absolutely find no purchase in our gun lines, and will get shot in the back as they attempt to run away. I guess out of range now? There we go. Just wanted to watch those blunderbusses get at least one more shot off on the enemy. Of course, we didn't need to do this considering the enemy is in march stance or full speed stance, but, well, all in the name of fun. Well done, Castelton. Alright, there we go. Very, very nice. I'm really enjoying this army. I really like what it's got going for it. We've managed to buff up the Streltsy so much that they've effectively... they can take a charge from enemy heart or Seeker chairs and generally a Slaneshi charge and basically lose no units whatsoever. With the Bastion of the Great Cities from the War Drum and the buffs from the Heavy War Sleds, they all have over 100 armor and tons of melee defense and all that stuff, all the while firing. It's pretty great. Yeah. I always enjoyed when an army comes together like this that wasn't originally sort of meant to, if you know what I mean. But anyway, do we need to go back to Conquata? I guess the question is whether we want to attack the Wood Elves here. I'm not entirely sure that it's necessary, to be perfectly honest. We could make a landfall with Castalton upon the donut, though, here we have green territories. You know what we really need? We need the scout to find out what the heck is going on. Alright, I was also going to build a Streltsy army, or probably a couple Streltsy armies. Ah, there we go, and that's why you send the scout. Alright, beautiful. You. Stay in Conquata for now, just for a little bit. We'll need to build defenses here, and we will need to build the Ruindogum stones, as well as probably the taverns rather than the markets first. Just 'cause it's going to take a while to grow, and we do want the Ohm stones, rather, to be maxed out fast as possible. Anyway, let's see what else we got to do this particular turn. Gotta get to the end turn so that we can... okay, wait. You go into March stance. You need to get to Beled and the Defender. Doesn't really matter if you take attrition. We need to get to the end turn so we can get to that long victory. Alright, Recruiter Gajovich, you are supposed to move down this way. Oh! You guys are moving in numbers. Grengzinta's gonna fall, there's no way.
You may touch me only in dreams.
I mean, we can't leave Marienburg. A lot of Kossars. I wonder what else is in these armies. Wait, if you go get really close, would you be able to see what's in here? Lots of chariots. Almost tempted to attempt the fight. Frankly, if every single unit dies in here, how much do we care? Probably not a lot. I'm looking for a ritual enforcer. A free... okay, everybody... oh, man, I don't know who to take the ritual enforcer from. Who has a free ritual enforcer? You don't have one, do you? No. Who doesn't... who could have one that wouldn't need one? Castalton is definitely fighting those guys, so he would need one. You don't have one. These guys probably need them. You don't have one. You know what? I'm willing to bet that you or one of your minions has one, but you're not fighting Slaneshi right now, so... yeah. Old Knight had one. Not Castalton, I went to the wrong place. You. Pile of Kossars, Ritual Enforcer. Attack this. I want to see what's in here. They will... of course they'll steal the Streltsy. Okay, you know what? I still don't know whether this is intended behavior, but... steal a Kossar. Stop stealing the Streltsy. Oh, damn it. Or is this too cheaty? Yeah. Oh, well, I was gonna say, you know what, let's not do that anymore, but, well, now we have, and it's done. Frankly, this probably isn't actually worth fighting. The reason I decided to attack this was I was reasonably sure we could win, because the enemy army is tired, and they'd all just melt to arrow fire. Let's just let them die. If the auto-resolve which hates us wasn't giving this to the enemy, this had to go to us, you know what I mean? Well, the only reason that we would have, I guess, had to have fought that manually was if the Streltsy was taken, then we would have had to... manually fight it so that the auto-resolve didn't kill the Streltsy, so that it would be returned to us, you know what I mean? But anyway, what were you guys doing? Demetrius Sokin, you are going to continue recruiting. You are going to get replaced by Beledna, so we'll move you a little bit. A second. This way. Though I'm not 100% sure where we should be sending you. Frankly, we don't actually need to be fighting anybody here, but anyway. You're going to get replaced by... If I can find Beledna. There we go. And there we go, and then we'll redo her skill points later. Anyway. Down we go. Recruiters. Well, actually, we still need to check the recruiters like you.
I reject any who
Could probably recruit some more Cossars. I should probably still do spear Cossars instead of those Cossars, but whatever, too late. You could actually go to the Citadel of Lead because you'll actually heal more there, so... Why don't you do that, sir? Alright, and then Tech Thievery. It's probably going to be very limited, though. Oh! Actually, we could send Belinda the Defender to fight all the... fight these guys. Fight Dryka. Big reason that we haven't been doing anything here was because we have been wary of Dryka suddenly attacking us, where we are not really defended, so... Plus, we should then be able to get some battles for him, which is nice. Knock out these Wood Elves and those, but frankly, all the Wood Elves hate us, so, you know what? They hate us, we hate them. Alright, Teklifu rather. You are going to go down to the Ogre Town. I'm Beledna the crit failure. You got for 5 turns. Alright, get down here.
Absolutely.
Last turn, everybody succeeded. Wait, the last turn, everybody succeeded. Okay, now Beledna succeeded. Okay, good. I was about to say, then everybody failed, then everybody succeeded, then everybody failed. It's been weird. Potent? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. We got all the stuff that we need here. And Stepan Horoshko. Oh, you're this guy. And you can recruit some more of these guys, but frankly, just hold. And just hold, sir. Icetooth Mountains. Alright, let's do the building, though it shouldn't be all that long since we built, well, most of the buildings. Alrighty. You can get the Cavern of Silk, and then you already have the taverns, but I guess you still want to build that farmstead, because we build those everywhere. Bay of Blades. We no longer need the defenses here. We're past that point. And the same is true of Castle Alexandrinov. Those were supposed to be there temporarily until I forgot about them and left them there. But frankly, we only now just have basically nearly completed the destruction of Mr. Festus, so... It does make sense why those were left there for so long. Anyway, Cursed City. Ooh, finally tier 5. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Those will be the last landmarks then. And they will probably be expensive, so we'll actually want to probably swap Ottomans around to reduce their costs. Because we wouldn't be able to afford it. Fortunately, it's only a single Ottoman swap. You're the construction cost reducer, yes? You're also a recruitment cost reducer. And you are recruiting stuff. This is a construction time guy, though. Plus 20, damn. Alright. Let's put you here. Put you... wait. Put you... here. Put you... here. And then put you here, where the plus 20 will make our biggest money-making province make more money. Alright. But more importantly, so that we reduce the construction costs of the landmarks. Alright, Veil of Woe. Will we have enough money this time around to build everything? Oh no, Brass Keep, there's a lot of stuff here. Market definitely taverns, and definitely the farmstead, and then lastly... gotta go the Eerie Woods, especially since it was taken by Mother Estankia, so that makes more sense, or even more sense. Grow faster, so we'll start with the farmsteads rather than the We'll probably actually need to build defenses at Grungzint if those Slaneshi keep on coming over here. And though, frankly, the AI is actually having trouble crossing the seas, as we've already noticed that the enemy armies are... Oh, we don't need to upgrade you. The enemy armies are arriving on our shores damaged, which is probably sea attrition, which is doing that. But for the enemy. Alright, and the market here. Looks like we were very close to being able to build everything, which is nice. And now we can end the turn. Wait. We were besieging you, right? I think I'd rather just end the turn. Because that should, in theory, destroy the fucking knights unless these guys manage to run away. And yeah. I don't know if my internet will be capable of uploading an episode this long. Obviously, I should have broken this up into multiple episodes, but I kept thinking, oh, just next turn we'll get that long victory. Next turn we'll get that long victory, and it never happened. Ambush. Irogny, I'm actually surprised at that. Oh, man. I want to see the charge of the bear cav. I want to see the charge. We're doing it. Save because I feel like the game will crash. Go.
Kislev has endured. Why would we ever quiver before these milksops?
Alrighty, here we go. Here comes the bear calves streaming down the hillside there and into the enemy storm vermin. We sent the acolytes of Urson to deal with the Skaven slaves primarily, but I think the bear calf can handle those more elite storm vermin rats. There we go. Very, very nice charge on them. The battle will go quick because it is an ambush and because of the sheer amount of damage dealt by the bear calves, so had to slow that down to see the charge a little bit. And there we go, in it to win it now, and the acolytes of Urson come in to join the fray as well, fighting with those vaunted bear riders. And the storm vermin attempting to hold them off decently over at the back of the column. All of these Skaven slave slingers are getting absolutely obliterated by the acolytes of Urson, who are racking up a massive kill count extremely quickly. But this is something that they're ideal at, and being a sort of relatively low armor piercing berserker damage dealing unit. Out here, Urogny is quickly defeated the enemy warlock master. By the looks of it, this army will fall relatively quickly. Now, there's some dread spears here to deal with as well. Well, I'm sure the enemy could use the anti-large against our warbear riders, but it's just not going to be sufficient. There we go, especially with the Patriarchs healing the Warbear Riders up, they'll take very little damage against all these guys. Anyway, it looks like these Storm Vermin will be the last units to hold on the field, hardly surprising, though the enemy Lord has effectively abandoned them now. But the numbers, well, it shouldn't be, but we will soon have the numbers over the Skaven here. Simply because all the Skaven slaves are routing, haven't taken a massive amount of damage. Alright, a few more hits from those Warbear Riders, and I'm sure we'll start seeing the Storm Vermin rout as well. Those halberds in their armor piercing doing some damage. Both Brothers of Tor lost maybe 10% of their HP. One of the units of Warbear Riders did suffer a little bit of damage, losing about 50% of their HP to enemy halberds. However, that unit was unsupported by Patriarchs and stuff, and on top of that, it only lost one, I believe, Warbear Rider. So the model, lack of model destruction means that it will more or less recover to full. Anyway, looks like the Storm Vermin are out, though they know not where to run, and the rest of the enemy army will quickly shatter. 'Tis an ambush battle, so we always expect it to be quick, but it's lovely to see the Warbear Riders make mincemeat of those Storm Vermin. 155 kills on the Oath Brothers of Torn, considering they charged Storm Vermin. That's a hefty kill count, as compared to the running down of the enemy Skaven slaves and such. 261, for example, on these acolytes of Urson. Lovely. Alright, there we go. A horrifyingly effective ambush from the Warbear Riders. 17 or 18k damage, 31k damage, 20k damage, 26k damage, and 20k damage. All doing swell. And I'd say generally speaking doubling up on the damage of the Acolytes of Ursun, but considering the expense in the higher tier, does make sense. Well done to the Bear Riders. We got 8 losses, and I guess we're in our own territory. We can just take the money as well. And there we go. There we go. Very nice indeed. And Uragni gains some kind of trade for that. Emperor Karl Franz wants us to join war against the Templehof, guys. I mean, we could, but how much do we really care? Military alliance for Karakadrin. Still having a tough time with that Legion of Asgore. Peace with the Orcs, and no thank you, Grommy. And it looks like Siggy wants peace now as well, but Siggy similarly no. And it looks like that Khorne army is moving away. You want us to join? Man, everybody's asking for stuff today. I mean, damn. Alright, is the Fecundite army destroyed? Don't tell me it ran. Don't you tell me it ran, game. It should be dead. Creator, Dawnstone, Sword of... Who are you? I don't know who you are. Oh, you're the guy that's following Uragni around right now. Yeah, that's fine. Gautrek, Atman's Administrator, Followers of Nagash, Fecundites destroyed, and with that, and with that, and with... For the love of... There we go. And with that, the long victory is complete. Alright, it took a long time, or at the very least it took a heck of a long episode to get here, but we did arrive at the long victory at last. So, victory is ours, folks, and obviously, having reached it, I am going to call the episode here, and possibly the campaign. I have to give this some thought. You guys let me know what you think about continuing this campaign or just heading on to a new one. The only thing we really haven't seen in this particular campaign in terms of units, there is only the Incarnate Elemental of Beasts, which we didn't see. But frankly, me, myself, and I use the Incarnates quite a lot in the Beastman campaign, the Torox campaign, relatively recently, so I'm not too big on the loss there. So we've seen most of the stuff, and we've pretty much broken the Decadent Host, and they were the biggest portion of the Slaaneshi coalition, frankly. By the looks of it, only Nikari was the big threat here, and from the armies that we faced off against with him, I'm not sure that he had all that much in him. Goldtooth was the next strength ranking. Surprisingly, Disciples of the Maw got quite strong. I'm actually quite curious as to what units they had. But either way, folks, let me know via your likes and comments below and what you think about continuing this or not, or moving to a different campaign. Pretty epic number of fights for this one either way, and stay tuned for something Total Warhammer next up. So, all glory to the algorithm. Thanks for watching.